them. And so that it just took a little bit of time. So now, I'm here. But my day has been busy. My day has been super busy. But so this morning, I woke up this morning and I was challenged. I was challenged this morning when I woke up because I set my alarm clock for 5:30. I set my alarm clock for 5:30. And when I wake up at 5:30, I go right into prayer, right? I go right into just, thanking God for waking me up, thanking God for, just having me here on earth or whatever. And then I'll either get up out of bed right then at that second, or either I'll just lay down once I finish my prayers. Once I finish my gratitudes, I'll go back to sleep until 6:05 a.m. And then I get up at 6:05 a.m. regardless. And then I get up and I do my workout, right? And I do my workout, cook breakfast, all that stuff to start my day. So this morning I was challenged. I woke up this morning and I was just like, bro, I don't feel like I ain't even about to get up and do this. Like I'm not about to work out. Like that's just not about to happen today. I'm about to stay laying down. And what I heard in my head was, I was sitting there laying down, and as I was making the decision to not get up and not get out of bed, I heard something in my head say, again, that saying, don't get mad at the results you get for the work that you didn't put in, right? Don't get mad at the results you get for the work that you didn't put in. And so that was the words that I heard in my head this morning when I was laying in my bed, and I'm like, dang. I was like, come on, man. And I get that from Eric Thomas. I get that from E.T., number one motivational speaker in the world, right? I heard E.T. say that, right? I heard him say, don't get mad at the results you get for the work that you didn't put in, right? And so I heard that this morning. I'm like, bro, you got to get up. You got to put this work in because, right, if you miss, then one day ain't going to hurt, but it is at the same time. So, like, if you wake up and you feeling like you're not making your fitness goals, you're not making your fitness gains or whatever, right, that you can't get mad because you ain't put that work in today, right? Or if you find yourself at the end of the month coming up short, you can't get mad because you didn't put that work in today. You got to continue to hold yourself accountable every single day. And so what I want to think about, is some of y'all, like when you wake up in the mornings, right? And I know some of y'all probably get up super early in the morning to go to work, get ready or whatever. But think about how many times you've waken up and you didn't feel like getting up to go to work. You didn't feel like doing what you had to do that day, right? You wish you could just stay in bed, or you wish you didn't have to work at the job that you have to work at, right? Probably because you don't like the job, or you're just ready to move on or whatever. Think about how many times we waking up and we haven't been in the mood to do something, but we have to do it, right? We have to do it. So I want you to think about that, right? Don't get mad at the results you get for the work that you didn't put in, right? And that goes with everything. That goes with everything in life. Whatever it is that you are seeking to have, whatever it is that you're seeking to get, right? Whatever results you end up getting, if it's not the results that you were looking for or the results that you were hoping for, if you know for a fact you didn't put the work in, if you know that there were days that you skipped out on, if you know that there were days that you could have went harder, right? That you could have went a little bit longer, right? But you didn't. Understand that you're going to get the results of the work that you produced. And if you don't get the results that you intended to have, you got to reevaluate and say, okay, how much work did I put in? And this is where we got to be true and honest with ourselves. How much work did I put in? Was I honest with myself? Right, I'm gonna be honest with myself right now, and yeah, I remember that day last week when I didn't put enough effort into it, or I slacked off a little bit, and I knew that I slacked off, right? Because even when we're tired, even when we're fatigued a little bit, whatever it is that you're trying to pursue in life, you got to give it 100% every single time, and that's where your will, right, has to be stronger. Your will and your desire has to be bigger and has to be stronger for what it is that you're trying to get in life, because you are going to get the results for the work that you put in, right? Ain't nothing going to come to you easy. Nothing's going to just pop up, right, and be there for you. You got to work for it. You got to work for it. And that's just like me always talking about, having to meet God halfway. Again, we pray for all these things. We pray for this and we pray for that. But then after we pray, we turn around and we start doing the same things in our life. We start doing our same little routines or whatever, right? We don't put any work towards what it is that we just ask God to provide for us. We don't put any work towards what it is that we ask God to give us, right? We just pray and we put those requests out there, but we don't put no work towards. We don't give no effort. We don't show God that we really truly want or need what it is that we're asking him for, right? And so we got to meet God halfway by praying, right? Asking God to provide, because he said he'll give us the things that we need, right? He'll give us the desires of our heart. But then your actions have to prove to God that, right, you're willing to work for it, because when he gives it to you, it has to sustain itself, right? You have to be able to upkeep it, right? Because just as he gives, he'll take it away. Right? It's just like when they talk about your talents. God gives us many talents, and the talents that you don't use, the talents that you don't practice, right? You find those things begin to start to disappear from you, right? God will take those talents away when you don't use them. And so that's why if you're a very talented person, if you're a person that can do multiple things, right? You can sing, you can dance, you're good at finances, you're good at speaking, you're good at, whatever it is. If you got multiple talents, make sure you're practicing, you're exercising all of those talents, because you're blessed to have those talents. Those are different avenues that you can travel down, right, to experience different parts of your life. And when you don't use those talents, those things begin to fade away, right? Because we don't practice. We don't practice, and practice, right, makes us perfect within what it is that we want in life, or whatever it is that we're trying to pursue. So when you're praying and you're asking God for this result and for that and for this and that, make sure that your actions are moving towards getting what it is that God asked you. You know what I'm saying? And so, looking handsome, my friend. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. If you don't use it, you will lose it. That's right, Nita. So this morning was one of the mornings. I feel you. Tell me about your morning. Tell me about your morning. What's up, Tracy? How we doing, Tracy? Good to see you on here. But yeah, I'm telling y'all about my day a little bit, and kind of the message that I started my day off with. Don't get mad at the results you get for the work that you didn't put in. That was the message for me today, this morning. That was kind of what I came up with. Not came up with, but again, like I said, I got it from Eric Thomas. But that's what I went with today. Thank you so much. Who is this? That's Lori. How you doing, Lori? But yes. So again, I want y'all to start thinking about that, right? What it is that you want. What do you want for your family? What do you want for your kids? Right? When you pray and you ask God for that, are your actions now looking or moving towards what it is that you want? So that's Kendra. Okay, what's up, Kendra? How we doing? So prime example for me, right? So prime example for me is I've already prayed to God and told God, you know what, God, I'm ready to get a car. You know what I mean? I want to get a car. So I put it in his hands, but now, right, I got to start moving towards it. So now I need to start looking up information on the internet of what are all the documents, what are all the things that I need to get a car, right? What are the prices I'm looking for? What kind of car am I looking for, right? What are some do's and don'ts when you go to the dealership? Right now I need to start seeking information, right? Just by researching online to prepare myself mentally to be able to go in and to negotiate with the salesman. Right now I need to start doing the things that is going to prepare me and put me in the best position to be able to get the best deal and to be able to walk off the lot with the car that I want, right? I've already put it in God's hands. I've already prayed about it. Now I'm doing my part in educating myself and researching on, different car companies and all that stuff, right? So that's me, my actions moving towards to meet God halfway, because if I can show up, right, with knowledge, if I can show up with wisdom about how these car companies work and about how, salesmen, try to throw certain deals in or try to throw certain fees in and stuff, and know what to look for, know what to ask, know what not to ask, know what not to say, know what to say, right? If I put myself in a position where I have that base knowledge and I go in, right, doing that, and if I go in with that knowledge, and then also with God's grace and with God's blessing, because I asked him for it, those two things, right, I'm going to walk out successful. And so that's what we got to start doing. We got to start meeting God halfway by letting our actions move towards what it is that we've prayed and asked him for, and just trust that he's going to come through. But right, we need to hold ourselves accountable to getting the base knowledge that we need in order to be prepared, right, for when we do get into that battle or get into that area, get into that place to where we're about to receive what it is that we've already prayed and asked God for. Straight up. So what will help with worrying? I tend to worry a lot. Okay, we're going to get there very true, King. How old are you? Kendra, I'm 25. So if you don't use it, you lose it. All right, bet. I'll just catch up on your comments. So Lori say, what will help with worrying? With worrying, I tend to worry a lot. So again, like I ain't no expert. I ain't no expert on none of this stuff. I'll just share with what I think. So some of the stuff that I say you might agree with, some of the stuff you might not agree with. But I'm just sharing with what I think from my life experiences and from what I'm possibly seeing. So what I think would help with worrying is, and I was just talking to a friend about this the other day, and we were talking about relationships, right? And she asked me a question, and she said, Trey, she was like, you a man. She was like, I'm in a position where I'm talking to this guy and I don't know what his intentions are. Like, I don't know if he's interested in me or whatever. Right. So she was worried. She's in the state of worry, of investing time into him. Right. And then finding out that he is not in the same position or in the same mindset that she's in. Right. So what I thought about was that I think a lot of times when it comes to worrying, I think that a lot of times what we do is, because we know what the outcomes or what the risk could be in a certain situation, right? Because we know what the risk could be in a certain situation, we will be so afraid, or we will automatically assume that that outcome of, in her situation, right, the guy not wanting to be, or the guy not being on the same page as her as far as starting a relationship, or Lori, in your case, whatever it is that you're worrying about, whatever you're worrying about, whatever that outcome is, that possible outcome is, you automatically assume that that outcome is going to happen, and we focus so much on those negative outcomes that we put ourselves in a state of worry. To whereas if we teach ourselves or get to the place or position in life where we can accept that this could be the outcome and that could be the outcome, if we get into a position where we can accept that and just be in a open state, right, and understand, look at it from a different perspective, that if this outcome happens, right, it's a learning situation. Whatever God intends to happen in my life with this relationship, whatever, it's going to be for the benefit of my life, right? Whether it's going to be teaching me a life lesson or it's going to be a straight up blessing. You know what I'm saying? So I think you got to get to a position, Lori, where you don't focus so much on what that negative outcome could be, right? And get to a position to say that, you know what, I'm open to whatever happens. Like, yes, I would prefer for this outcome to happen, but if this does happen, it happened for me, right? And it didn't, and not to me. And the reason why I say it happened for you is because every single thing that we go through in life, right, is a learning situation. It's a learning opportunity. But we have to have that perspective. You have to be able to look at it as a learning opportunity. One of the greatest gifts that God has given us is the ability to learn, right? And so I don't want you to think that the only way that we can learn in life is by sitting in a classroom, right? We learn daily through our life experiences. So whatever it is that you're worrying about, whatever that negative outcome is or that dark outcome is that you're possibly thinking about or dwelling on, right? It's a learning situation, no matter how much it's going to hurt you, right? Even if it's the worry of losing a family member, right? Everything happens for a reason, and God puts us in these stressful situations, right, to see how we're going to react and for us to get into a vulnerable position to where we are now being forced to grow spiritually, physically, and emotionally, right? So whatever that worry is, you have to accept the fact that that outcome could happen, but you have to now make a decision on how are you going to look at what that outcome is. How are you going to look at the situation? Because again, as I always say, I think the difference between us being successful and unsuccessful in certain situations is how we look, or how we look at the situation, or how we perceive the situation. Right? Because again, the same thing that you're going through that you worry about that may happen to you could be a situation that could happen to somebody else, that they can look at it from a different perspective and could help them, really get to the next level in life. Like it can spark a fire under their behinds, right? And get them going in life and be like, you know what, this happened to me, but I'm about to get right. You know what I mean? I'm about to go through this, to where somebody else could go through that same situation and they could not look at it from a certain perspective, or look at it from a different perspective, to where it's like, okay, whoa, it's me, this happened to me, and they can crawl up in a hole, cry, and find themselves in a dark position in life, right? So again, I think it's all in how you react and all in how you respond to the situations that you're dealing with, but it's all in how you look at it, right? Is it a learning situation or is it chastisement, right? And so, like I said, understanding what the outcome is of that situation, knowing that it can happen to you, but going in with the open mindset. You know what I'm saying? With the open mindset. And so let me catch up to see what y'all said. How's everyone doing? What up, Shorty? Shorty in there. Charnel in the crib was good. But Lori, I hope that helped. I hope that made sense. Let me see. So you need to train your mind to stop when it gets negative. If you don't, you'll get stuck there. Yep. The mind is powerful. That's right, Nita. But yes, Lori, so thank you so much. I really appreciate it. This is helping a lot. Wow. Yep, exactly. Cool. For sure. And so yeah, I mean that's basically how I look at it. That's how I see it. That's exactly how I see it. Trying to see who else on here. All right, bet. Cool. So yeah, if y'all got any more questions, make sure y'all throw those questions in there. Make sure y'all throw it. Y'all know I like the chat to be active. But yeah, so I think it's all in how you look at the situation. What's up, Aaron? How we doing? But yeah, so and if anyone else has any responses to that or anything, water break. Yes, L. Thank you. I got my Talking with Trey mug. Y'all see that? Talking with Trey motivation. Then they got my quote. I ain't trying to waste my water. But I embrace me, and that's why I'm free. So we got the Talking with Trey mug tonight. Thank you for the reminder, L. And then I got me a little strawberry banana smoothie right here too. All right, so that's probably why I put some mindset shifts in the chat a lot, because it's for me too. Exactly. So Jesus is needed there too. We ain't built to handle all that worrying, make you sick. No, Trey, how do you deal with friends, peer pressure parties? I like that, FB. That's good, because so I'm glad that you just asked that question. But I wanna make that I want to make a statement on what Nita just said about, Jesus is also needed too, because I didn't say that in my response to Lori, right? So again, I explained that from, a point of view of how you can look at certain situations. But at the end of the day, right, you always got to involve God in everything, right? You got to always, involve God, put it in God's hands, whatever it is that you're worrying about, right? You pray that he gives you strength, just as Nita says, right? We can't handle all that stuff all the time. So that's why you have God there to help and support you, right? And so I just want to make that statement. Thank you, Nita, for putting that in there. But to go back to what FB say. So Trey, how do you deal with friends or your peers and peer pressure parties, right? So that's a great question. So what I said when I first started this live was one of the main topics or the big topics that I wanted to talk about, which was a suggestion from one of my Talking with Trey Motivation group chats, was what like your support system. And when I saw that, I kind of thought about what kind of environment or what kind of friends, what does your friend group look like, right? Especially us as adults, as teenagers, right? Who is our friend group? What does our friend group look like? What are our friends doing, right? And so you just asked a question about how to deal with friends' peer pressure. So here we go. So I shared this story a while back on one of the lives, right? So I don't smoke or drink, right? That's just something that I've never been really interested in. I don't do that, right? So growing up, a lot of my boys who I played football with, right, they were, and I wouldn't say they did it a lot, but they were on the scene. They were on the scene a little bit more than me. And, because my mom was a little bit more strict when I was younger. So she didn't really allow me out like that until I got into like the 10th, 11th grade of high school. And so when I was able to kind of, get out on the scene with the boys a little bit here and there, I would get introduced to, certain things, and nothing crazy, nothing major, it's just the little basic stuff. But I would get introduced to certain things to where, I just didn't find any interest in it, right? And so we would be at these places or at these little gatherings, and people would ask me, yo, hey, you want to drink? Trey, you want to drink? Nah, I'm good, bro. I'm good. I'm good. I'm solid. And what I found was I was able to stay solid within my decision to not drink or smoke, because I was confident in who I am as a man, right? And as a person, and I was confident in my goals. You know what I mean? My goal was to be the best athlete that I can be. And to be the best athlete, you have to be good nutrition-wise. You have to be good physically, right? And I didn't want to put any of that stuff into my body. But then also, my family has a history of alcoholism, right, within the men's side of my family, right? All my uncles, they were all alcoholics. So I just had no interest in it, right? But see, my friends, when it comes to friends and how do you deal with friends, peer pressure, if you have clearly stated to your friends that whatever it is that you all are doing, right, that's something that you're not into or that's something that you're not interested in, real friends are not going to pressure you into doing it. Now, what they may do is from time to time, they may ask you to see if you want to partake in it because maybe they just don't know if you're actually true, like, you know, if you're sure within yourself. But if you have a really close relationship with your friends and they know that you're sure and you're set within your decision of what it is that you don't want to do, right? If your friends continue to peer pressure you into doing that, and that's something that you're not about, then you need to start reevaluating your friend group. Because although, yes, we want to be cool with certain people and we want to stick around with certain people, but when those people get involved into things that we know that we're not about, that's when you have to begin to start separating yourself. And not saying that you can't be friends with them, but telling them that, look, when y'all go to do this, I can't do that, bro, because I'm just not about that type of life. You know what I'm saying? And so I have just been lucky enough to have true friendships with people who respect my decision for me doing what it is that I do, right? And they know, like, all right, when we about to go smoke and drink, chill or whatever, like, we not gonna ask Trey because we know Trey not about that, right? He set that boundary, but you have to set that boundary. You have to be vocal, right? And tell your friends, look, I'm not about that, bro, because you are who you associate with is what other people are going to associate you with, right? And so when they went to those little parties and they were smoking and drinking and stuff, they didn't see Trayvon. Nobody else saw Trayvon. But because they were my friends, when we got in school, people would automatically assume that I smoked and drank because they would always see them boys smoking and drink. So they just automatically assumed that was me. So I had to have a period of time that I separated myself from them in order to remove that label from me because that's not what I was about. So it's creating those boundaries, as Taylor just said, right? And so, again, with peer pressure, the way you deal with that is first by becoming confident in who it is that you are and becoming confident in what it is that what is your dream? What is your vision for yourself? Why do you not want to get into what it is that they're peer pressuring you into, right? Why? What is it? What's the reason why? Because when you're firm and you're set, there is nothing and no one who can convince you to do anything. Right. And I think that the firmness, the power within your voice when you speak and say, you know, nah, I'm not about that. They're going to be able to sense like, all right, he for real. Like there has been times where I've almost gotten into fights with people because they've asked me multiple times, bro, you want this drink? Do you want to hit this J? And I've said no. Right. And it got like there was a part when I was here in college when I was in my undergrad. Right. One of the old, it was like some, you know, I think he was older than me, but he wasn't on the team or whatever. So I didn't really know like who he was. Like I knew him, but I didn't really know him like that. And he asked me originally like, hey, bro, you want a drink? Which, you know, was the first question, was the first ask. Like he didn't know if I drunk or smoke or not. It was cool. He asked me, you want a drink, bro? Hey, no, I'm good, man. I'm all set, bro. I'm all set. You know what I mean? He was like, all right, bet. And then a couple minutes later, he come back. Hey, man, go ahead, get you a drink, bro. Get you a drink, bro. Hey, bro, I'm good. I don't drink, bro. Like, I'm all set on that, bro. I'm good. I'm having a good time. You know what I mean? So that's the second time he asked me. Now, because I'm confident and I'm firm, because what people think that if they can ask you multiple times, right, and they begin to see you start to let up and fall into that peer pressure, right, they can start drafting you in. So all they know, they just got to ask you a little bit more, right, because they think that you're not sure. But when you have that confidence, no matter how many times they ask you, no matter how many times they tempt you, no matter whatever it is that they put in your face, right, it won't buzz you. And then he asked me a third and a fourth time, and it was the fourth time that I was like, hey, bro, I just told you I don't want no drink. Like, I'm good. I don't do that. Get out my face. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, I'm having a good time. I don't need no drink, bro. Stop asking me. You know what I'm saying? Oh, bro, chill, bro. You ain't got to get on here. No, you're disrespecting me because at this point, right, I've already told you the first time you asked me that I was good. The second time you ask me, I'm good. The third time you ask me, no, I don't want no drink, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? When I say something, I mean it, right? And so, it wasn't that, I was trying to jump bad with him, but I had to state my confidence within who I am, right? And the crazy thing was my boys had told him, hey man, Trey don't drink, bro. Like, nah, he good. You know what I'm saying? So if you are around friends, if you're around people who are applying this pressure to you consistently, you need to start reevaluating, right? And those same boys who I was hanging out with in high school, now they're my boys. I love them to death. You know what I mean? We got our group chat. We talk and we communicate every day. But they know that when Trey comes home to visit in Florida, Trey probably not going to hang out with them that much because of what they're doing or because of where they're going. Sometimes they might just even be chilling. They might just be going out to the bars or whatever. I ain't really about the scene like that too much. You know what I mean? When I go home to visit home, I go home to see my immediate family, right? And go home to just chill and relax. I ain't really trying to go all out, be all out late night and all that. Like, nah, that's not what I came home for. I came home to visit my family and to get away from work, right? That's my goal. That's what I didn't come home to turn up. I came home to spend time with my family because I only come home twice a year. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you have to understand and know what your goal, what your vision is, and you have to be confident within that. You have to be confident within that, and you can't be afraid to separate yourself from your friends or from the people who are peer pressuring you, right? When they're in those positions or when they're in those times of trying to hang out and all that stuff, right? You just have to be firm with it because they're going to respect you more as a man for doing that than they will if you fall into the peer pressure and begin to start doing what they're doing. Because when they are in a position in life where they are now trying to get serious about life, or when they're trying to get serious about a goal situation, who they going to come to ask, how did they do that? They will come to you. Because they know out of the whole friend group, they know Trey, or they know whoever, right? They know that Trey is going to be able to tell me, how do I stay focused? How do I stay firm? How do I become confident? How do I, how do I have a drive for one specific thing? You know what I'm saying? They're going to be the ones to ask you that question because you stayed firm within it. And so that's the way that I look at it when it comes to friends. And so, like I said, I wanted to talk about that topic of what do your friend groups look like, right? So for all 11 of y'all that's on here right now, think about it. Like, what do your friend groups look like? Do your friends are they ambitious? Do they have goals? Are they continuously looking to climb and get better in life, right? Are you ambitious? Right? Even if you're not ambitious, do you have goals? Are you driving? Are you seeking to see things happen for you in life? Right? And not just wanting, but you're seeking it, right? You're going out, you're finding ways to make your life better. Or do you have a personal drive? Do you have an energy about you that you carry, right? Whether it's a loud energy or whether it's a quiet energy, right? Do you have an energy about you that shows up within your work to get to where it is that you're trying to go or whatever it is that you're trying to be, right? Are your friends doing the same thing? Or are they people who are just content and complacent with life, right? Are they just people who are okay with where they're at in life and doing the same things over and over and not trying to better themselves or not trying to level up on their skills, right? Because, again, if you are a person who's trying to grow, a person who's trying to level up, a person who's trying to start something different for your family, and you are hanging out with people who are complacent in life and they don't want to see change, they're okay and comfortable being in the position where they're at, and not to say that there's anything wrong with where they're at, but they could be doing better because they are blessed with talents, right? They can be doing so much more. They could be changing generational paths for their families, right? But they're so stuck in this ongoing current, right, that every family member does. If you have friends that are in that position, they're going to either loop you into that, or they are either going to catch on to your energy, and it's going to spark some motivation within them for them to start getting onto their own path. So what does your friend group look like, right? We tag teamed again and we saying the same thing. I'm telling you, yes, we are, Taylor. So that's good, Trey, everybody. Exactly. So we don't welcome back energy person. Let's go. I'm here finally. What up, Sam? Good to see you, Sam. So yeah, we had that Holy Ghost boldness. Exactly. My mom always told me birds of a feather flock together. That's right. I'm telling you. So yes, boundaries are important. So that's true. And then another thing that I want to share with you, is that there's a game, right? There's a game that me and my cousin, so it's my cousin Larry, my cousin Chris, and my cousin Vars, right? So Larry and Vars are brother, they were brothers, right? And then Chris was our cousin. So it was me, Larry, Vars, and Chris. So it was the four of us when we were little kids, right? We all played and hung out, right? Do you go live every day? Nah, I go live every Wednesday. I go live every Wednesday night at 9 p.m., Lord. So my cousin, so when we were little kids, we came up with this game called Brave Man. And this is going to speak on to the idea of your friend group. So I want you to really listen up here. I want you to really listen up because you're gonna understand it in the end, right? So when we were little kids, when we were little boys, we made up this game called Brave Man, right? It's called Brave Man. And so the objective of the game was, because see, we like to do a lot of flips and a lot of we was just doing a lot of crazy stuff around the neighborhood, right? We got home from school, we just went outside and we played on our bikes. Like at that time, we weren't really on no video games, you know what I mean? Like we was outside playing, getting dirty. Like that's what we was doing. So what we would do is play Brave Man, and Brave Man is one person had to do something, right? Whether it was like doing a backflip off of a car, backflip off of a fence, jumping off the top of the shed and landing on your feet, running and jumping through the swing. Like we just did a lot of crazy stuff like that, right? What one person came up with, what one person did, everybody else in the group had to do it, right? And the person who couldn't do it, like if you did it and you did, like if you went to attempt to do what the lead person did, if you didn't get it right, you basically lost a point or you were out for that round, right? So we call this Brave Man. So like one of the things would be, okay, they'd be like, all right, Trey, you the leader for this round, right? You got to come up with something. So what I would do is I would go and run up the pole and do a backflip, run up the pole and do a backflip off the pole, right? So if I did that, now cousin Larry got to do it. Cousin Larry going to run and do a backflip off the pole. Now Vars got to do it, right? And so what happens is we continue to keep going until one person does something that everybody else couldn't do. And that means, so if it's four of us, one person does something, the three of us couldn't do it. So we keep going until we get to that point. So there was one point where my cousin Larry, he did a backflip. He did a backflip off of the hood of a car, right? Off the hood of a car. It was a broke down car in my auntie yard. He did a backflip off the hood of the car and landed it, right? The rest of us was scared to do it because we weren't good at backflips. So the main objective or the main thing was, once we get to a point to where only one person could do it, that one person had to teach the whole group how to do it. And we didn't move on in the game until everybody knew how to do it, right? And as a little kid, I never thought about how like genius this idea was that we had come up with as little kids, right? So what we would do is we would go on the grass, and cousin Larry taught us how to do backflips, starting from doing a cartwheel, right? Starting off with a cartwheel, building up our confidence to get into the backflip, right? Now this is where this is where the genius of the idea, like this is where it really shines, because now that I'm older and I reflect back on the whole situation of one person teaching the rest of the group how to do what it is that only that one person could do, right? I think about us now as adults in our friend group. We all are blessed with so many different talents, right? So I'm good with speaking to where, L could be good with finance, and then you got Taylor who's good with design, and then, you got Charnel who's good with I don't know, I'm just trying to come up with something, but like everybody has different talents, right? Within your friend group. So the way to maximize your value and to maximize your worth within a friend group is what are you bringing to the table within your friend group, right? Because I think as a friend group, the way you all can benefit from each other is by teaching each other your skill, right? Teaching each other your skill. So us as adults, right? So if it's me, Taylor, Elle, and Charnel, and all of us have different talents, we should all spend time. So just like me and my cousins, right? We couldn't move on to the next round of the game until everybody learned how to do a backflip from cousin Larry. And once everybody learned how to do a backflip and we mastered how to do a backflip, Larry wasn't the only one can do it. Now all of our skills have been enhanced because now all four of us can do backflips, and we were just doing backflips all freaking day. And then we would do the next round and until somebody else did something that the other three couldn't do. And then that new person had to teach everybody how to do it. And now our skills are continuing to keep enhancing because we are, as a friend group, right? We are teaching, we're giving each other knowledge of the skills that we have, right? And not saying that that skill you have to adopt and use, but it's a skill to help you in your life, right? And so us as adults, as we begin to look at our friend groups, as we begin to see who's in our friend group, what are we doing? Again, like I asked y'all, are your friends ambitious? Are they trying to grow? Are they using the gifts and the talents that God has given them, right? And then to bring value, how are you bringing value to your friend group? Are you teaching them the skills that you have? Are you listening to the information and the knowledge that your friend is trying to give you about what it is that they do in their life or what it is that they have in their life as a skill? You know what I mean? Are you all teaching each other? Are you all helping each other out, right? If you're good with finances, are you good with marketing and your friend has a business, right? Are you going to use your skills, your great skills in marketing and finances to educate your friend on what he or she should be doing or what he or she should be looking at and giving them a base knowledge so that they can do it for themselves until they find, until they find someone, right? I got you, Elle. Let me get some water. Until they find someone, right, who can work within their business full time to be their marketing manager or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like what kind of value are you bringing? Or are you just keeping all your skills and knowledge to yourself and not telling your friends nothing because you're so afraid that one of your friends or somebody is going to advance further than you because they get some of your knowledge, right? Or maybe they have a skill that they're good at that you wish that you were good at, but you're not going to get. But the missing piece in their life is the skill that you have, which is the reason why God put y'all together to fit the puzzle piece. But because you're so worried about your friend advancing further than you in life, you're not going to show or give them the knowledge that you have from the talent that is the missing piece to their puzzle of their business, right? Not understanding and not knowing that when they explode, God is going to bless you too, right? Or God is going to put you in a position to where now the talent or the information that you just given them from your talent is now going to be exposed to somebody else to where now your talent is going to become the thing that feeds you and your family, right? You have to understand that in your friend group, there's no competition. We are all here to help each other. It's the same thing within a relationship. It's the same thing within your family, right? There's no competition here. We are put together to help each other elevate, right? I may have the missing piece to your puzzle. My skills may be the missing piece to your puzzle, right? Your skills may be the missing piece to my puzzle. You know what I'm saying? Like I even look at the friends that I've made on here on TikTok, right? Like I look at the skills and the knowledge and the words that some of them bring to me, right? Through our group chat, right? Some of the things that they say, some of the things that they do, the abilities that they have, right? Like Mercedes with the ability to be able to make a logo. Like that was a missing piece within my brand, right? That has been now fulfilled with the friend who God has now brought into my life, right? With the talent to be able to make a new logo. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like we have to be in a position in life where we are surrounding ourselves with people who are driven, people who are trying to pursue their own dreams and goals, right? Because you're going to be able to feed off of that energy. You're going to be able to feed off. Why do you think that when you work out, right? Why do you think that it's always easier and better to work out with somebody else than it is by yourself? You know what I mean? Why do you feel like you're always so much more motivated when there's somebody next to you or somebody watching you work out? Right? Or if you're playing a game, if you're, a one-on-one game, right? And you have a crowd of people, why do you feel like you're so much more in tune with your body and you have so much more energy? You got so much more fire when people are watching you compete in a workout or compete in a sport or whatever. Or if you're just doing a workout with a friend, why is that energy different? Because you and that person are carrying the same drive, the same energy, and you're feeding off of it, right? You're feeding off of it. And I noticed it, right? When I was a football player, or when I was a football player in college, when we would go home for the summer, I would train at home in Florida, right? And yes, I would train hard. Yes, it would be fun. Yes, all of my boys who went and played at other schools would come home and we would train together. But there were some days where I had to train by myself. And yes, I had the motivation and energy, but when I got back to school and I started training with my teammates, or I started training with my boys where it was just 2 or 3 of us, the drive, the energy, and the motivation was just a little bit stronger. It was just a little bit different, right? I ran a little bit faster. I lifted a little bit heavier because I was surrounded with like energy. I was surrounded with like energy, and I was able to pull off of that energy. Right? I knew that somebody was holding me accountable. I knew that if I failed to lift, or if I was weaker than what I was before we left school, that somebody was going to get on to me, right? And so being able to feed off of that energy, because I'm around like-minded people, I'm around like energy people, right? It's going to help elevate because we're building off of each other's energy. Now, if I'm working out with somebody who doesn't really care for the gym, right, who doesn't really care to push themselves, I'm going to find myself exerting more energy into them, trying to push them, trying to ignite them, right? And I'm going to be losing energy because there's nothing coming back. There's nothing coming back from that person, right? There's no energy. There's no hype. There's no want to be there. All I hear is complaining. Oh, this is hard. This is that. This is, you know what I mean? And we're trying to grind. So I'm going to lose a little bit of energy because now I got to focus and put some energy into this person to try to get them up to where I'm at because they have no drive in life, right? And so that's why I say with your friends, you got to be around people that has the same energy as you. And even if they don't have the same energy, they have to be looking towards something in life. They have to have a mindset, a growth mindset, and want to grow and want to expand on what it is that they have going for their lives. You know what I'm saying? So you got to choose your friends wisely, right? As a kid and as an adult, as a teenager and as an adult, we need to make sure that the people who we are hanging around, the people who we are allowing around our kids, right? Our friends who we call our girlfriends, our homeboys, right? Who we letting our kids call auntie and uncle, all that. We need to make sure that if we're going to have or establish that type of relationship to where our kids are now calling our best friends auntie and uncle and all this and that, our kids soak up everything. Our kids watch everything. Right? So again, you need to make sure that these people who you are allowing your kids to call auntie and uncle, these people who you call your sister and brother, who are your friends, but you look at them as sister, are these people going to be good examples for your kids? Because our kids are not only watching us, right? They're soaking up every single thing within their environment, which is why we need to make sure that if we want our kids to grow up a certain way, we want our kids to have a certain mindset, we want our kids to have a certain drive, that every single person that's in their life or that who we allow to be in their life or to be in close contact with their life, we need to make sure that person is a good example in a way that if my child did take some characteristics from this person, right, it would be some characteristics that I would admire within my child, right? Is my home girl, do she have some qualities that of a woman, right, that I would want my daughter to be able to resemble, or that I would want my son to be able to see within a woman? Is my homeboy driven, right? Is my homeboy respecting other women, right? When my son growing up calling him uncle, right? Are there traits of my homeboy that I would want to see my son resemble, right? Because I know that I'm showing him the right way, right? I know that I'm showing him the right way, but I need to make sure that the other things that he's soaking up, the other things that he or she is seeing is something that's going to be valuable, right? And vital to them as well. So again, us as adults, we got to make sure we check. We gotta check off our checklist, and we got to be careful with who we're hanging with, who we're allowing around our kids based off of their lifestyle, because again, our kids are soaking up everything, right? And whatever they're soaking up is going to come out, right? You put water in a sponge, that sponge is going to soak it all up, and the only way to get that water out is to squeeze it out. So whatever is soaked up by our kids is going to come out at some point. You know what I'm saying? So that whole friend group thing, I think, is very, very important. You got to check to see who you're hanging out with. But while you're also checking to see who you're hanging out with, you need to check yourself as well, right? Are you doing the right things? Are you ambitious? Are you driving after your goals? Are you in a position to where you can say, you know what, I can't hang around this person because they're dragging me down, right? Or are you not doing nothing with your life? Are you complacent? Are you content with where you at and trying to make that decision to say, oh, this person bringing me down? How they bringing you down and y'all on the same level? Both of y'all ain't doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? Now one of y'all talked about y'all goals for this month. Now one of y'all talked about, your planning of finances of, how much money you trying to save this month to make sure that this and that bill get paid, right? And I'm talking about as adults, right? Now one of you have had this conversation. Now one of you have talked about this you ain't did nothing, right? Y'all just sitting here living paycheck to paycheck, not trying to find ways to get other sources of income, not trying to find ways to be able to build more assets within your life, right? That's going to benefit you in the long run, right? Y'all just sitting here just going through life because you think that that's the way that life has to be, because that's the way your auntie, your mom, your granddaddy, your grandma lived. You think that that's the way that you got to live, when there's so much information, there's so many opportunities out there for every single one of us to be able to better our lives in some different aspect, right? Are you doing something? Are you doing something enough to be able to make that statement, to make that claim that, you know what, this person that I'm hanging with or who I call my friend, you know what, they ain't really got no drive. I've tried to talk to them. I've tried to, they don't want to do nothing in life. You know what? Hey, I love you, but I can't spend hours and days, and I can come and see you for a little bit, right? We can come to the crib, we can cook, we can eat, right? Probably watch some TV or something or whatever, hang around, but I can't spend hours around you, right? Because that energy is going to start bringing me down. That, wanting to chill and relax is going to start bringing me down, right? I got stuff to do. Here's my schedule. I'm strict about my time, right? I got my kids. I got to make sure that my kids are doing this. My kids are active. My kids are involved into this, right? I got to make sure this, right? You have things that you got to make sure that you're taking care of. So you got to be honest with yourself. Are you doing what it is that you need to be doing in order to level up your life and to be in the right position to be able to say, you know what, this person right here is bringing me down, right? Again, always start with that self-reflection and then reflect on who it is that's in your circle. So that was a great question that you asked, because I wanted to talk about, that friendship thing as far as us, being adults. And I hope y'all got that, the story that I told y'all about me and my cousins, the Brave Man game, right? I hope y'all got the analogy and the idea of what I was saying, right? As far as what kind of value are you bringing to your friend groups? What kind of value are you bringing to your significant other? What kind of value are you bringing to your kids? What kind of value are you bringing to your job? What kind of value are you bringing to, to whatever place you're in? What value are you bringing to the world, right? How are you allowing the skills and the gifts that God has given you to prosper within the environment that you're in to bring value? So let me ask you this question. So that when I talk about value now, right? When I talk about value, if I asked you, why do you love your mother? Right? Why do you love your mother? Why do you love your father? I ask you that. You'll say, because that's my mama. That's my daddy. My mama, she birthed me. She puts me out. Right? That's true. But now I want to show y'all value, bringing value is so important. We don't love our parents. We don't love our parents just because they are our parents. We love our parents so much because of the value that they bring to our lives, right? And it was crazy because I was thinking about this, and God told me, like, he was like, why, because I told God, I was like, look, I want to be great. I was praying one day and I told God, I was like, God, I want to be great. Like, I want to travel the world. I want to speak to thousands of people. Like, I really want to get into this motivational speaking stuff. Like, I want to travel the world, speak to thousands of people, right? I want to do this. I want to blow up in this. Like, I want to really dive into this motivational speaking and do this. And he was like, good. He was like, you're destined for it. Like, I gave you the gift to speak. And he was like, but the number one thing I need you to do is I need you to bring value to people's lives. And I was like, okay, bring value, but and I asked him, like, God, how? Like, how am I going to bring value, and why do I need to bring value to people's lives in order for me to be a great motivational speaker, right? And that's when the thought came to me. He was like, okay, why do you love your mama? And I'm like, that's my mama. Like, it's just my mama. And he began to show me that the reason why you love your parents so much is not just because they birthed you, but because they brought so much value to your life. Your mom raised you, right? Or your dad raised you, or your grandma raised you, right? They put clothes on your back. They taught you what you know, right? They fed you, right? They ceased your hunger. They comforted you in the times that you were sad, right? In the times that you didn't feel safe, they comforted you. They protected you, right? They did all the things necessary in order to develop you. And it's the things that they did for you which brought value into your life, right? Because as a kid, we understand what our parents do for us. So we know that if it wasn't for our parents, we wouldn't have been able to have the things that we had, right? As kids. It's because of the value that they bring to your life that makes that connection so strong to you. Because think about it, right? I see people with pet monkeys, people with pet squirrels, right? Even people with dogs. These animals will, even with ducks, right? You can go and take a baby duck. You can go take a puppy or a baby monkey or whatever and raise that animal. And that animal will treat you as if they are your parent, as if you are their parent. I mean, that animal will treat you as if you are their parent. They follow you, right? When other people come around, when things come around, they will come to you for protection. And why is that? You're a human being and they're an animal. So it goes to show that just because somebody birthed you, right, doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to have so much love for them and for this. Like, no, right? It's the value, right? When you get that baby duck and you take care of that duck, you feed that duck is going to recognize that value that you're bringing to its life, because when it's hungry, right, it knows that it only gets fed by you. So it creates that relationship because of the value that you put into that animal's life. That animal is going to be indebted to you. That animal is going to protect you when it gets of age, or when it gets to a stage to where it can protect you, right? It's because of the value that you bring to its life is why you have that connection with them, right? And so that's another thing, right? Us as parents, what kind of value are we bringing to our kids' lives? Now, if you look at it from a different perspective, right, to where you say, okay, well, I birthed my kid out and I love my kid so much, and my kid hasn't done anything for me because they're a baby, right? But the reason why you love your kid so much is because of the time that you have invested into the child, right? That stuff doesn't go unnoticed, right? The time that you invest into, and that's why it's so hard for us to lose things, right? That's why we get emotional when we lose people, when we lose things, right? Because you put so much work into it that you create a relationship with it. So when you lose it, or if you do lose it, right, it hurts because of the time that you put into it, that you've invested into it, right? That stuff creates value. And when you lose that certain thing, right, that it hurts. It hurts because of what you invested into it. And so that's how you can look at it from the parent to child perspective. But when you're looking at it from the child to the parent perspective, it's the value that has been placed into their lives, which creates that relationship, right? Because there are a lot of people who say that they hate their mom, who say that they hate their dad, right? It's probably because their parent never really invested time into that child's life. So that child never really established that relationship with their parent to be able to say that that's my mom, that's my father, that I love so much, that I love dearly, that I'll do anything for, that I will fight and kill for. You know what I'm saying? Because that parent probably didn't invest the time and the energy, right, into their child's life. And so I even think about, like, when I told y'all my story about not, my father not being there during the most important times. There was a point in my life where I got to a position to where I was like, man, if my dad passed away, I don't even know how I feel. I don't even know if I would cry, right? Because the disconnect was so far, and the lack of value that he had brought to my life, there was no connection. There was nothing that kept me connected to him to be able to say that I would have some type of feelings or emotions if he were to pass away, because the lack of value that he put into my life, right? To whereas looking at my mother, that's a whole nother story. Mom did it single parent with 3 kids all by herself. And I saw what she sacrificed. I saw the value, the teachings, all that stuff that she put into us, right? So that connection is strong, right? So that would be a different story for me. So that's something that I want y'all to think about is, as you move through life, right, always give value. Always look to see what you can give, right? Because even God talks about us giving, right? You will always, what you give, you will get back. And I honestly and truly believe and think that our duty here on earth is to be of service to others, right? And to show God's unconditional love and to be of the service of others, because God is going to give us everything we need. We just need to continue to keep bringing value to the people and to the things within our lives. So a lot of times, right, when we're trying to come up in life, or when we're trying to do something, we always look to see what we can get. What can I get from working for this job? What can I get from being a part of this business? What can I get from being with this person? Right? What can I get? What can I get? What can I get? But we never think about walking into a situation to say, what can I offer them? What can I get? I don't care. Even if it's the number one top business or organization in the world that, they have been well established and they got the best of the best people, you still need to go into the situation thinking, What can I offer this business? What can I give them? What value can I bring to be an asset to this business, right? So that I can be successful within it. What value can I give? What can I do, right? We need to think about the value that we can give and how much value are we giving, because the value that you put in a place, right? You need to become so valuable in your job. Now, everybody's replaceable, right? And you hear this a lot when it says there's something where they say, like, if you need to take a day off at work, take a day off, because if you die, quit, or got fired today, they will replace you with somebody tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? So you need to think about, when it comes to value, think about becoming so valuable to the point to that you become a necessity, right? I'm in a position in life to where I want to bring so much value to the world. I want to bring so much value to the world that I become a necessity to this world, right? To that what I provide, my skill, my talent, becomes a necessity to people, right? Think about it. The trees, right? The trees provide us oxygen. The sun provides us light, vitamin D, right? Provides us with heat, temperature, all that stuff, right? Water provides us with hydration. You know what I'm saying? Think about what those things provide. And because they bring so much value to the world, because it's so needed, those are necessities. We need trees because they give us air, right? It's a necessity, right? We need water, right? It's a necessity. The sun. And then think about it too. The tree doesn't try to do the job of the sun. The tree doesn't try to give us vitamin D and to try to give us light, right? And to try to give us water. The tree only provides us with oxygen and fruits. You know, it does what it was designed and made to do. So you as a human being also need to do what you're designed and made to do. And don't try to do other things that you weren't designed and made to do, right? The sun doesn't try to do the tree's job. The sun doesn't try to do the water's job. The water doesn't, and vice versa. They do what they were made to do, and they do it well, and they do it so well to the point to that they become a necessity, because they bring so much value to this earth that they become a necessity. And so the same thing with you. What value are you bringing to your job, to your workforce? What job or what value are you bringing to your household that you become such a necessity to where the job doesn't want to lose you because you're such a good worker, right? Because the things that you've created at your job has become is so good that these people can't replace you, because they know that nobody's going to be able to come into the job and do it just as good as you, or do it the way that you do it. Now, they might have someone come in and do a great job, but because they like the way that you did your job, they've got accustomed to how you did your job, and they need you there to continue to keep doing your job. You become a necessity. So they are afraid to lose you on the job because you bring so much value to it, right? In your household, right? How much value are you bringing in your household? How much value are you applying knowledge to your kids? Are you making sure everything is getting paid and done well and done correctly? Are you working alongside your partner, right? Are y'all conversating and bringing value, bringing knowledge and information to each other, instead of trying to be, oh, I'm the head. No, I'm the head. I'm the head. No, I'm the head. No. Are we leading together, right? On one accord, right? Are we understanding that each one of us have different strengths and different weaknesses, right? And I know that your strength is in this area, so I'm going to let you lead in that area because that's what you do best. But my strength is in this area, so I'm going to lead in this area because that's what I do best, right? And to be able to come together, right, at a position to where, okay, we are both probably kind of equal in this area. There's no one who has a strong, has a strength stronger than the other in this one. So we're going to collab together to see how can we make it better together, right? And understand the roles that each person plays within the relationship or within the household, right? Are you bringing that type of value to where your house is so functional that there's no other woman, there's no other man that can come into your relationship and complete it the way that you complete it, because you've created such a functional household? There's no other parent that can raise your kids because you've created such a functional household, right? When people come to your house, when other kids come to your house and they, yo, hey, Jake, bro, man, your mom and pops, like, man, they got everything, bro. They look like y'all got $1 million. But shoot, together, both of y'all salaries probably come to $60,000 a year. But because you're so functional and you know how to live together, you know how to work well, every single thing that you've gotten has been off of strategy, right? Has been off of you working together and allowing each other to practice your strengths within the relationship. How much value are you bringing? Is that value big enough to where you become a necessity within the position that you're in life, whether it's at work, whether it's on the job, right? Whether it's on a sports team, what kind of value are you bringing? Real deal. So let me go ahead and read through some of these comments. Work like God is your manager. Exactly. Build a solid foundation. Talk your talk. What's up, Mercedes? Let me see. Jeff, I don't know if you're still on there, but Jeff asked me how do I make incomes? I don't know if you're asking me specifically how I make my income, or if you're asking like in general, like how do you make multiple incomes? So if you can, I don't know if you're still on, but if you can clarify that, if you're asking specifically for me, or if you're just asking in general, let me know. Not being a asset. It used to be like that with my dad, but God, that's why I try to catch your lives, the value of your conversations. Dream girl, thank you so much. Oh, hey, girl, I ain't seen you on here in a little minute, I feel like. Was you on last week? How you doing? Sam, so dance or do 10 push-ups. Please show. Say dance or do 10 push-ups. Oh, man. That's a challenge right there. Let me see. Oh, thank you for my fire and for my confetti. I appreciate that. Here we go. We got, is that Laws? Y'all correct me if I say your names wrong. I try to read your handles. Your handles sometimes don't be clear words to me. So good. And you say good evening. What's up? How we doing? Scroll through the comments. Thank you, Taylor. I'm catching up. Wow, I dealt with that and just had to disconnect respectfully. Yeah, sure, I hear you. Holy Spirit, exactly. Let's compare friendships to other friendships. It's like a relationship. Yep. That was another. That logo was fire. Shout out to Mercedes. Yep, big up, Sam. Mercedes did kill that logo. That was dope. EB Soul Sing. What's up? How you doing? I don't know if you're still on here, but good to have you on. Friends go, but she seen the competition and said, yeah, I hear that, right? So she said, I tried to help a friend grow, but she seen it as a competition instead. Yep. And hey, not everybody gonna receive it well. Not everybody gonna receive it well. That's a really good game. All right, cool. I think I'm caught up now, so let me get back down to the bottom. And and I want to just ask you, I want y'all to think about, what kind of value are y'all bringing? What kind of value are you bringing? What's an area? And share it in the chat if you want to. Share it in the chat. What area of your life do you feel like you are bringing the most value? And what area in your life do you feel like you could be bringing more value in? You know what I mean? So answer those two questions if you want to and put those in the chat. What area in your life do you think you're bringing great value in, right? And then what area in your life do you think that you could improve and bring more value to? And so your lives truly help and resonate with me. I appreciate it as I feel how passionate you are speaking. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I love doing this and I love chatting with y'all for real. How do you make money? So I make money through my job, right? I work here at the University of New Hampshire as a residential hall director, right? Paid salary. So those checks come in consistently. I also do personal training here and there. So I get paid for my personal training, and then from time to time I get paid for speaking as well, for public speaking, and for doing some of my motivational speakings at some of the middle schools and stuff that I've spoken to, and then some mentorship stuff that I'm getting ready to do pretty soon. So I do that, and then I also have some other little small things that I do that I get money from, or that I'm trying to learn how to get money through, just to create more streams. I'm trying to learn how to invest like within the stock market. So I got like that app called Robinhood. So I've been learning how to invest in the stock market and stuff too. So just trying to gain knowledge on how to get multiple streams of income. To value yourself so you will be able to value others and value life. Yeah, that's right, Taylor, for sure. That's right, for sure. So yeah, so I'm waiting for my thing to kind of load up for me. Y'all know my internet be tripping on the comments. There you go. Yeah, hey, what's good, homie? What up, Dez? Dez in the house. Dez is in the house. What's good? But yeah, so if anyone wants to answer that question, I would love for you to answer that question again. The question was, what area in your life do you feel like you bring great value to, and then what area in your life do you feel like you could improve and bring more value into? Because I think that when we reflect on that, I think that could help us help us uh, figure out what areas of our life do we need to really work on, or do we need to push harder on. And for me, my reflection, my answer to that is that I feel like I bring a lot of value through my speaking. So that's an area that I need to continue to keep practicing on, right? Through reading and through listening to, other motivational speakers, and seeing their style, how they speak and stuff, right? And also just gaining my knowledge, right? So that I can work harder within my motivational speaking to continue to keep bringing value to others' lives. You know what I'm saying? So like for me, that's my reflection. That's the area that I think that I bring good value in, and then the area that I think that I could be bringing more value in. Let's see, what area do I think I can be bringing more value? I would say within my job. Like there's a few things within my job that I feel like I could spend more time kind of like learning how to do, so that I can be better in it, so that I can be more of value to the department within that section. But there's just some things on this job that I'm just like not that skilled in. But I really think that but it's not hard to the point to where that like I just can't do it. If I sat down and actually learned how to do it, or how to become better in it, applying my other skills that I have that I bring to this job, I think that it will enhance my ability to be more valuable within this position if I learn how to do certain things that this job requires me to do. All right, so you say, how did you find your value, or how do you find your value? So the way that I found, like I said, the way that I found my value, right, with where I'm at in life, I found my value through speaking, right? So I would speak, I would make videos, I would make content, and the feedback that I got from people showed me that my content, my words, my speaking had some weight to it, right? It brought value, it brought clarity, it brought motivation, right? It even convicted some people, right, to challenge them. So it brought value to people's lives. So that's when I realized that you're really bringing value to people's life. There's some things that people have shared with me about some of my messages that have changed their life or changed their outlook about certain situations that they were about to give up on. And I realized okay, wait, you're bringing value. You're adding value to the community. You're adding value to the people who are connected to you. Right. So that's how I found my value. It's just by getting the feedback from, you doing the thing that God gifted me to do. And then you said, or how do you find your value? So for someone who's trying to find their value, right. And it's not that you have a specific or one type of value that you can give, but it's anything. Like it's within anything, right? You can literally bring value by, I don't know, like what if you stop and you go by a homeless man that you've been seeing sitting in the same spot on the street, right? Going and buying him some food, or pick him up and go take him into Target and buy him some clothes or something, right? Like you just brought value to his life. You know what I'm saying? Or like just doing the right things, right? Just doing nice, genuine things is adding value to someone's life. You know what I mean? You're adding value to someone's life just by doing the right thing, or doing the thing that's very nice. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like you bringing value as one specific thing, but how are you helping someone else advance? You know what I'm saying? But if you're trying to find that one specific thing, I think you should look within your talents. I think you should look within your talents and your gifts that you have, and begin to start using those talents and gifts to give out to people, to serve other people, right? If you were a painter, if you're a gifted painter and you love to paint, There are billions of people in this world that loves art, that loves to look at paintings, that loves to buy paintings, that look at paintings and get a message from paintings. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you need to start painting your behind off and start showing your work, right? Because there's going to be people who appreciate it and be like, wow, you know what? This painting, this piece really spoke to me. You know what I mean? I'm just looking at the little details and you know the message that this picture gives, or the story that this picture gives, right? This brings a lot of value to me. You know what I mean? So I think it's you discovering what your gifts and your talents are, and then using those gifts and talents to your best ability. Because again, there's billions of people in this world who are all interested in different things. So there are a lot of people who are not interested in my speaking. There are a lot of people who don't care much about what Talking with Trey has to say. But then there are a lot of people who do. There are a lot of people who are interested in it. You know what I mean? And so not everybody's going to be interested or get a message or get some type of feeling from what it is that you're doing. But there is a community. There is a group of people who are designed and who are literally made, right, to be within that area or that field of what it is that you're trying to do or what it is that you do. You know what I'm saying? So like I can speak and talk all day. There's somebody who might not be interested in it, right? But they're interested into singing, right? So there might be somebody else who sings, who they're interested in, who they will listen, talk, or listen, sing all day, right? But they might not listen to a word that what I say. It all depends on what that person is into. So whatever your gift and your talent is, God has given it to you because there is a population of people who he needs you to serve by you practicing your gift and your talent as much as possible. Real talk. Yo, what's up, lady? I feel like I bring value to. Hold on, let me catch if I'm making others happy by encouraging prayer. Yes, Nita, there we go. Eddie, what's up? EJ, Eddie. Trey, you're a legend. I appreciate you, homie. My man Eddie always showing me some love and calm me down in any type of situation. There you go, Sam. Yep. Whenever I'm having a bad day or my day isn't going good, Trey always comes to my mind, man. Yes, sir. I also value my gift in dancing. It relaxes me so much. Everything disappears when I dance. Yes, Taylor. Yes, Taylor. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. I believe in the lack of working on volume time with myself by myself. Exactly. Yep. There we go. Okay, so I feel like I bring value to my family. What I need to improve is procrastinating. Okay, Leslie. Yeah, procrastination. Yeah. Your boy's a little stuffed up and congested. I don't know why it just happened. I told my sinuses be crazy. I should have took my Zyrtec. But yes, that procrastination is crazy. That is crazy. I don't judge others either. That's why I think it's easy for people to open up. Yep. I also value encouraging others to be the best version of themselves. And prayer life has grown. I think I find value in making people laugh. There we go. Yeah, making people laugh. Exactly. Like literally, whatever your talent, whatever your gift is, whatever it is that you're good at doing, can literally bring value to people's life. Creativity and dance and being a servant whenever needs in my church. I love it. Yes, Shar. Not even a minute and it spoke to me already. Yo, you know we on it, baby girl. You know it. You know we always pressing in. I know a lot of people's secrets too. Yup. And they feel comfortable sharing it with you, Nita, because you don't judge, right? And you have that open space. Like you're able to create that open space for them to feel comfortable to come in and share. You know what I'm saying? So now you know that information, right? You provide value by creating that space that people don't get from the people who they're probably looking to get it from, right? You are a person that provides that type of space, so that brings value to somebody's life. Because they might not be ready to go to a therapist yet. Like, I don't know if you a therapist. You might be licensed in it. I don't know. But you might not be a therapist, right? But they might not be ready to go see a therapist yet or to go talk to a psychiatrist or whatever yet, right? But you are able to create a space to, to empathize with them and to give them some comfort until they're ready to go seek that type of help. if they need it, if that's the situation. Quick question about relationships. Yeah, Sebastian, go ahead, bro. Go ahead. Throw that question in there. Also a free comedian. Say the only thing people pay attention to. Yeah, Taylor, little comedian. Encouraging others to be the best version of themselves. Yep. Taylor says she's a comedian. For sure. Y'all, my nose I don't know why my nose closing up right now. I ain't drink no water. I ain't hydrated. Don't tell L. Let me see. So, okay, who is this? So Mark, what's up? What's up, Mark? Mark say, "What's up, my African lion?" Yes, yes. That's a really good value to have for sure. Yep. Trey, do you do foam rolling? I learned all about it in physical therapy today. Yes, I actually just bought a foam roller probably like, about 3 weeks ago? About 3 weeks ago. Yep. I do that. Oh, we are all very similar in the value area, and that's dope. Yep, for real. I'm a therapist, but I'm not licensed. Okay, okay, dude. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Nina say she a therapist, but she ain't licensed yet. Tell them to give you your license. All right, what do you do if you, the person you're with, starts to become less affectionate and becomes more distant? Ooh. I'm going to be real with you. I need to blow my nose, and I ain't going to do this on camera. So I need y'all to hold the live down for a quick second while your boy Trey go take this tissue and blow his nose real quick. Y'all hold it down for a split second, and I'm going to come back and I'm going to get to your question. Y'all probably going to hear me blow, but don't. We grown. Don't be talking about, I'm going to be right back. Y'all got to chill. Hold on. I'll be right back. All right, there we go. All right, your boy can breathe now. Here we go. So, let me see what I can do. Okay. So you say, what do you do if you the person you're with starts to become less affectionate and becomes more distant? Let's see. That's a good question. So I was in that position. Before where a person may start to become less affectionate and a little distant. And basically, I mean, I think the only logical thing to do is to open it up to conversation, is to get straight to the point and just ask. Now, you don't want to go in assuming nothing, but you want to check in with that person. Say, hey, how are you doing? Like, what's good with you? I've noticed, you kind of move a little different, right? I've noticed, pick out something that that this person used to do. They don't do it no more, right? How's your family? How is, just start asking, because you never know what it really could be. You know what I'm saying? So I think you should open it up in conversation just by asking that person, how are you? Like, I don't know if y'all have conversations on the regular or deep conversations, right? But ask that person, what's going on? Like, I haven't seen you do this, or I haven't heard you say this in a while. And I was just wondering, is there anything bothering you? Is there anything on your mind, right? Open it up to be able to give them the opportunity to be able to start expressing or talking about what's on their mind or what's causing them to be distant, right? Because not everybody's good at communication. You know what I mean? Like, it's a weak point. But then again, sometimes people don't want to say what's bothering them because they don't know how to say it yet, right? Or they don't want to hurt your feelings. You know what I mean? But I think you should open it up to conversation. I think that's the next, thing to do. And just ask, where you at? How you been? Like, I've noticed something different about you, and I just want to see like is everything is okay? Is there a way I can support you in it? And see if it opens up to that conversation of them explaining why they've been distant, right? And once you find out what it is, then you can take it from there. Let's see. What could do better is respond to negative criticism in a more healthy way. Okay, Shar, I hear you on that. Yep. Responded to it in a more healthy way. Lord, thank you for the other day. Yep, there we go. The man Trey sound like an African elephant, not an African. Come on, Sam. Don't do me like that, homie. I don't know, man. I probably got, I don't know, there might be some dust on this table or something, man. But I was good earlier. But I don't know, man. There might be some dust on this table. Got my sinuses going crazy. Who this is? Madison. What's up, Madison? I ain't seen you in a little minute. How you doing? How you doing? Good to have you on here. Hold on. Wait, what Yo-Yo say? Okay. Here we go. My bad, Yo-Yo. My chat be loading up, so she said I'm definitely gonna assume they'll pray for me in that area. Okay, I'm gonna pray for you in that one, Nita. We got you. All right, so Yo said, love hearing you speak. About to go do my hair though. Let's see how long you're on tonight. All right, bet. Thank you, Yo-Yo. I appreciate you. I'm gonna try not to be on too long tonight. Cause I gotta make sure that I can get up at 5:30. So I'm gonna try my best not to be up too late tonight. So, but we're gonna see. We're gonna see. Let me see. Okay, I'm good. What's up? Alright. Man, so why you say oh with a sad face? You feel me? Since we changing up like that, bro. That still is coming to cities near you. I'm good. I told her it hasn't been the same lately, and she didn't even acknowledge it. Yeah. Oh, yeah, Sebastian. I don't, hey, bro. Like that's see, like that situation kind of tough, and we have some older women, right? We have adult women inside this chat, so like I don't know, like do y'all have any advice for Sebastian that could be a little bit more valuable than what I may say with with how you can help him look at how you can help. Well, she said you're gonna be the guest speaker. That's funny. But how y'all can help him look at the situation. Maybe some ideas. So if anybody has some information that y'all can throw in to help me out on this one, because if you brought it up, and she didn't even acknowledge it. But then again, I think like, bro, it's a timing thing too. Like she might not open up to it right away. But definitely, continue. I feel like, continue to keep acknowledging that that something is wrong. But again, don't go crazy about it. You know what I mean? Don't be like, oh, you ain't. Hold on, what you say, Sebastian? What is your gut telling you straight up? She at least owe you an explanation. Facts. There we go. Thank you, Nita. I knew somebody was going to be able to help me on this one. Savannah, what's up, Savannah? Thank you so much. I really appreciate you. My girl, Savannah. Haven't seen her in a while. Thank you so much. Because you just got on. Yeah, I ain't seen you on here in a while, Madison. I told you I'd be remembering y'all. As long as you're active inside the chat. If you stay active in the chat, I'd be remembering like your icon, your picture. And I try to, I don't know, I remember them, but sometimes I don't. But it depends on how active you are with me in the chat. It's important to keep advocating for your needs. Yes, that's right, Savannah. Be specific with your woman. There we go. See, Sebastian, we getting some help, man. I told you, bro. We got everything you need is right here in this chat. Cause I know if I ain't got nothing, I know they got me. So, yes, much love, Savannah. Distracted her. And I've been traveling, so we haven't seen each other for almost 2 months. Whoa. That's a long time, but she probably miss you. Shoot. She probably miss you so much she don't even want to talk to you. That sound crazy. But let me see. Yep, most guy friends do like her. Yeah. That could happen too. There could be some other contestants that got her attention. So what you hey. Mercedes, so I got this is a strawberry banana smoothie, and then I got some water. Yep. Okay, so Madison says she got a question. We all have different gifts, talents through God. What is yours and how did you... Let me see, it must be a second part coming. Essentials I hear. Yeah, you know it. And how did you learn it? Okay, so Madison says, I got a question. We all have different gifts and talents through God. What is yours? So you're asking, what is my talent and how did I learn it? So I like to think that I'm a man of many talents. I think my number one talent, my number one gift, my purpose in life right now, again, like as I always say, where I'm at right now is motivation, right? Motivational speaking, public speaking. I think that's my gift, that's my talent. But also have multiple talents. Growing up, I was really good at dancing. Sometimes I used to think that I could kind of sort of sing a little bit, hold a note, hold a little rhythm a little bit, something like that. I don't know. But I used to think that's what I could. That's what I could do. Let me see, what is it? Is Andre trying to come on real quick? Hey, y'all, hold on. TikTok done gave me the ability to add somebody on for real. Hold on, Andre. I might add you on there, homie. But, yeah, so I feel like I'm a man of many talents. You know what I'm saying? I really feel like, well, that picture look crazy. Now, and it might be somebody trying to spam my account. Nah, they not real. But I feel like I'm a man of many talents. As I was saying, dancing, but even just like, I feel like I have a gift and talent to be able to communicate with people, like, just a people's person. But to go back, I think my ultimate talent, ultimate gift is to speak. And the way that I learned it and I found it out was through my experience. And this is why I always say, you find your biggest blessings through your biggest struggles. You can find your biggest blessings through your biggest struggles. And I found my gift and my talent, or I discovered and realized what my gift and my talent was because of the thing that I went through in life, right? When I tore my ACL, MCL, both medial and lateral meniscus, and my patella tendon all in one, right? Right before my senior season of playing football. So it was through that dark moment that I realized, and as I was coming, on the better end of that healing process, it wasn't until I got to that position in life where I realized that my words, my voice, and that my speaking was actually really powerful. Because growing up, right, I've always been a great speaker. I've always been a great motivator. I've always been someone who was very relatable across the board to a lot of people, but I didn't realize or see it as a talent or a gift or something that could take me further than what football could take me. I never saw it as that. I just realized that, well, you know what, I've always been voted team captain from even when I was a little boy. Like, I played soccer, then I got into football. Like, ever since, like, I was always looked at as a leader within whatever I was involved in, and I was always, voted team captain. I was always this and that, right? Because I just had that natural born leadership, that natural born motivation that people was able to attach to and to, feed off of. Like, God just gave me that from birth. But I didn't realize it until I got into that dark position in life and realized that my words that I was sharing about the situation that I was going through was very moving and touching. And so that's how I learned it. That's how I discovered it. And then as I discovered it and saw that, whoa, like this is a real talent. This is a real gift from God. Now I need to start investing into really processing my thoughts and my feelings and begin to just start speaking and talking more, because there have been times where I'm like, I'm saying some stuff and I'm like, bro, this don't really mean nothing. Like, I'm just chatting. Like, I don't even know what I'm saying. You know what I mean? But then somebody could be listening to me saying the thing that I was saying in my head. Like, I don't even know what I'm saying right now. This ain't making sense. And that person could be like, oh my God, bro. Like, dang. Like, that makes a lot of sense. That's crazy. And in my head, I'm like, ain't no way. Like, bro, because that didn't make no sense to me. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like, it's a God-given talent. So that's why how I discovered it. And then I just began to start, looking at other people within my profession, right, as far as speaking, and start to not mimic, but to be able to pick up on certain things of like, how can I better my speaking? How can I broaden my point of view? How can I speak better, right? How can I begin to think deeper, right? So, and I just began to start doing that. And that's just through reading, and that's through listening to the messages of other motivational speakers who I look up to. And then, also, right, prayer and letting God give me the information that I need. So, yes, that's a great question. But, yep, you find your biggest blessings through your biggest struggles. Mercedes say, Trey, if I ever see you in person, we dead. We on. Let's go. Who this is? The tear guys. Please, you're literally so fine. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Sebastian, I don't have time to wonder. I like to know ASAP. Nita not playing no games with y'all. Nita says she don't need no time to wonder. She ain't no mind reader. She need to know ASAP. Rocky. Y'all, my nose keep running. I'm about to blow my nose again. Hold on. Hold it down for me. P.O.P. Hold it down. Hold it down. Y'all held it down for me? Yeah, y'all held it down. There we go. But yeah, Mercedes, we're going to get on that dance battle. Let me see. Trey going to be that one uncle in the future who tells the kids he was making it to the NFL. Yeah. Straight up. I ain't going to tell him that I was making it. I'm going to tell him that that's where I thought I was going. That's where I thought I was going. I'm going to be honest with him. So do you do anything for work besides social media? Who is this? Kels. So, Kel, what up? What's up, Kel? Yes, so I work at a university, right? At the University of New Hampshire as a residential hall director. And that's what I do besides social media. And also do some personal training, fitness and stuff. Yep. Let me see. Yeah, Sebastian, that distance could play a part too. But there's some other things that could that could be taking place here. So we haven't seen each other in a while, yeah. The video of you running, I needed to hear that so bad. Now I'm in my same petty boat. So not giving into fear. Yeah, I appreciate you, man. That video was definitely speaking a message, man. It's definitely speaking a message, man. We got to meet God halfway, and that's the base. That's the basic thing is we definitely got to meet God halfway, man. Our actions got to show us moving towards what it is that we pray and ask God for. Hold on, let me see. What up, Angel? Let's say Angel. Yeah, Angel Lacosta. Native 5 says, hi, what's up? You held that note for a long time when you were blowing your nose. Chill out, Sean. Chill out. Good for you. I love it. I need a trainer. Bet. Let's go. Let's train. Let me see. We haven't seen each other in a minute. All right, I'm making sure I catch up on y'all comments. So do you do anything work besides social media? I love what you do on TikTok. You're great. So I used to have that kitchen chair. You used to have this kitchen chair, Madison? It's a good chair. I use this chair for my workouts and everything. TikTok lives, workouts, eating at the dining table. I got 4 of these chairs, so I be using all 4 of them for everything. All kind of stuff. Because, you know, I don't work out and I don't go to the gym, so I be having to use the props around the house to get my workouts in. I want to know why so many people envy you. This dude, Trey, cool dude. I don't know why people do that. Cam, hey, man, that's, bro, I don't know, bro. Like, that's, I don't know, man. Sometimes people they just try to find, like, they just try to find something to because I think a lot of times, bro, when people comment certain things that are perceived as negative, I think that it's more so of a reflection of what they're dealing with than it is about the actual person who they said it about. So, like, I don't know if you're referring to that one comment, that last comment in the last 2 videos that I made, and comment to, you know, the guy who commented on my running video. And it was kind of crazy because a lot of my followers jumped on his head. And I was like, dang, boy. I was like, I ain't even have to make these 2 videos. Like, y'all started jumping on his head. And so I was like, all right, bet. Well, I ain't got to say nothing else to him because everybody done kind of jumped on him a little bit. And he was getting tag teamed. And I was like, dang. But, man, it's always like, bro, like, and just like, you know, and like I got my support group, you know, and most of my support group is on here. And I talked to my support group about it. And, you know, a couple of them shared with me that, you know, you're not going to be able to make everybody happy, right? And social media is something that can make you or break you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not going to be able to make everybody happy. And not everybody is going to receive your messages in the way that you intended for people to receive it. So, like, sometimes you got to take the good with the bad. You got to take the bad with the good. Like, you just, you know what I mean? It is what it is. And I don't necessarily like really try to reply to all of those type of, like, I try to reply to every single comment. Like, I try my best. Like as my TikTok has grown with more followers, like it has been harder to try to get back to every single person. Like, cause when it was smaller, I was able to get back to everybody because I wasn't getting much traffic. Like, I wasn't getting many comments or likes and all that stuff at first. So it was easy for me to, you know, stay on top of it and you know, reply back to everybody right away and to spend, you know, a lot of time sitting on my phone replying back. But like, as my platform is starting to grow, it's getting harder to like stay up with everybody. So I try my best, and like there'll be times where it might go 5 days before I can get to a video to reply back to everybody, but like I just do it slowly. So I try not to, like, I try to reply to every single person, but I try not to give all my energy to people who say negative things. But then again, I think like it's good to not shy away from those negative comments because I look at all of this as practice for when my platform does explode or go, you know, or get to a point to where it's known. You know what I'm saying? So because I feel like there's gonna be days and there's gonna be places where I'm gonna be challenged, where I'm gonna be encountered, or you know, where I may say something that a lot of people don't agree with. You know what I'm saying? And so I need to be able to have that practice, have that ability to be able to state why I said what I said. You know what I mean? And no, I don't have to, but I think it's good practice. I look at all of this as practice, right? Me talking to y'all on the lives is practice for me when I'm one day talking on the stage in front of corporate, right? Talking on stage in front of corporate, giving a motivational speech, or teaching a course that I developed over time, or teaching, you know, whatever, you know, just launched a new mentorship program or whatever, and giving a presentation on that. Like, I look at all of this as practice. So, but yeah, like I said, I talk with my support group, and they've helped me process and get some of that stuff, you know, going in my head. But it's crazy, man. Like, it's no matter what you do, bro, like there's going to be somebody who don't like it. There's going to be somebody who's going to find negativity within it. And, bro, that's just life, bro. And they won't even acknowledge the good things. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, Mercedes talking about we going to have I don't want none. Man, you crazy, Mercedes. It don't make me get my hat, too. I bring my hat, it's over with. I bring my hat, it's over with. Yes, come on. See what your favorite. Okay. So most of the time, people are so focused on criticizing and they miss out on free inspiration. Facts. That's right, Cam. They do. They miss out on it, bro. Jesus love you. Remember that. Thank you, Seth. I appreciate you. I appreciate you, man. Jesus love you, too. My best friend got home today from the hospital. Hey, there we go. Blessings, blessings. That's good to hear. Should I say true? So I just mean I'm 37 and I don't have the time to be playing within a relationship. Exactly. You too grown for that, Nita. Tell him. Sebastian, okay, y'all reply to Sebastian. Sebastian in the distance make you even more affectionate. Yep, that, yeah. And advice. Let me see. All right, thank you for your time. Yep. Yeah, for real. Hey, man, hey, Sebastian, make sure you listening, man, because they definitely putting you up on game. They definitely putting you up on game. So it was good you responded for the viewers to know your focus. Yeah, and that too, Shar. And then another thing, too, you know what I mean? And sometimes, like, I don't know, like, it just, sometimes it be some things that people say that kind of like spark me a little bit and the real Floridian begin to come up. But I have to remember that I gotta stay, you know, I got to keep the wording and everything very intellectual because I don't want I don't want the wrong message to come off. But I have to state it in a smart way so that, you know, this the real Floridian don't really come out. You know, that's just like the one dude. He commented on my video, the pancake video. I don't know if y'all seen the burnt pancake video. Right, so the video about the burnt pancake, my man commented on there and told me to shut up and that I was ungrateful and to just he told me to shut my A up and eat the pancake and be grateful because I was ungrateful and all this and that. And I was like, dang. I'm like, out of everybody, you see everybody else comment on here saying, oh, that's a good message, all this and that. And you go on and talk about being ungrateful. So I said, okay, I'm in the mood. And I think I had just ended a live with y'all. That might have been on a Wednesday. I was like, I'm in the mood. I'm getting ready. I'm feeling good. Let me go ahead and post a little video and reply back to this man. So I had to reply back to him and set him straight. But the good thing was, the way that I broke it down to him, he ended up replying back to me and was like, yo, man, he's like, I apologize, bro. He's like, I got a lot to learn. And I was like, I told him, I was like, hey, man, I was like, no love, you know, no love lost, nothing to you. Like, I understand. I was like, I got a lot to learn, too. Like, I'm right here with you, bro. Like, you know, I'm learning every day, too, man. Like, I'm right here with you. And it was kind of cool because, it wasn't nothing that we had to squash. But for him to be able to be like, hey, bro, like, you know, I'm actually sorry. Like, I really appreciate what you said. I got a lot to learn. Thank you for showing me that, right? And then for me to also come in a humble way and to say, like, not like, you know, I got a lot to learn. Like, I'm not Mr. Know-It-All. I'm not saying that I'm right in this situation or whatever, but like, I got a lot to learn too. I'm right here with you. You know what I'm saying? But I just had to let you know that, like, you're not going to be in my post telling me to shut up and all this and that. Like, but this ain't nothing sweet over here. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, I'm passionate about what I say and what I do. So I really want you to get the message. So it aggravates me more to see that you're focused on something that has nothing to do with the video at all, and you're not receiving the message, or you're not at least picking up on the symbolism that I'm giving to receive the message, and you're focusing on something so, you know, small that it just totally went over your head. And I get it. Not everybody gonna understand what I'm saying, but what I'm saying is because I'm so passionate about what I'm saying and the examples and I'm so, you know, and I'm so proud of the examples that God give me when I have those, you know, little, you know, light bulbs that go off in my head when I come up with those certain ideas of how can I relate this food object to a bigger message. I'm so happy and so thankful that God gives me the ability to be able to do that, that when I make that video, I really want every single person who hears it to receive the message. And so when you reply back with some negative comments that has nothing to do with what the video is talking about or what the video is showing, that's when it kind of bothers me, because it's like, no, I want you to hear this message. I want you to see, you know what I mean? It's like the coach in me, like the coach who wants to see their player do better, right? Because they are so passionate about coaching these kids and getting the message to these kids and getting the, like, that's how I feel. Like, it's like, like, I'm not mad at what you said about me. I'm mad that you didn't see what all 3,000 of the other comments seen in the video. You know what I'm saying? And so I think, like, that's what be kind of getting me mad, because the other stuff is just like, bro, like, you don't know me, I don't know you ain't never talked to me, seen me before, so how you gonna make this judgment? You know what I mean? Like, all right, you say that, whatever, but like, bro, you missed what I said. Like, I really think, if you go and read the other comments, bro, you'll start to see the actual big picture of what I was saying. Like, this is what I want you to see, bro, because I really think that this came from God, and this is something that can help you, bro. So, like, look at it that way. Like, don't come on here trying to be negative, and for one, and two, I'm a grown man, so like, you're not going to be saying crazy stuff like that on my post too. So like, yeah, because I control this. So like, we're not about to have that, bro. Like, but I really want you to see what I'm trying to say. So she said, no, he did what he had. Go, it's on the comment. Go look on the burnt pancake video. It's on there. You'll see it. I replied to the video. Take a big person to admit their faults. Who this is? ACAT 25. Hey, what's up? How you doing? Molly Benz, what's up, Molly? What's up, Molly? I hope you're still on. Good to see and hear from you again. Second time Molly has showed up on the live. She's a good friend. Good to see you. I hope all is well, Molly. You think smoking is a sin? So Alex said you think smoking is a sin. Bro, man, look. I don't care. To me, the way that I look at it, right? God says that our body is the temple, right? Our body is the temple. And I just think that we should treat, and this is because I'm really into fitness, right? And because, like I said, I have family members who abuse alcohol, you know what I'm saying? And it makes them act up, and to the point to where we could never have family reunions without them fighting because they were drunk. And so because I made the connection that smoking and drinking causes them to act this way, to where we end up not having a good turnout at our family reunions, that this is destroying the body, for one, and two, it causes them to behave in a manner that disrupts the peace that we have. So for me, I look at it more so of it just not being good for the body, for taking care of the body. And as far as it being a sin, I'm not really into all of that. Like, I leave that up to God. Like, that's God's job. I just look at it more so from a health standpoint. Like, how serious are you about your health? I don't judge nobody because they smoke a drink. You do what you want to do. Like, if you need it to make you feel, do what you got. Like, that's between you and God. But like, the health facts are there. It's you can look up on Google. On the dip can, I used to have some friends in high school that used to dip. They dip in school. The dip can, it say can cause cancer in the lip. It say it printed on there. And they still chew. I told my boy, I say, hey, my boy, I say, boy, the can say it cause cancer in your mouth. I say, you ain't scared? No. Okay. You know what I mean? Like, that's what freaked me out. You know what I mean? I don't want no cancer in my mouth. I don't want no hole in my lip. I don't want no holes in my liver. And I told y'all the story about when I was in elementary, when they came and they did the presentation of what healthy lungs look like and what a smoker's lungs look like. All right, I want to live. I want to live long, and I'm an athlete. I want to be able to play. Right? It was the good lungs that was nice and pink. Right? He pumped them lungs up. They just got bigger and bigger and bigger, right? And they just looked so healthy and so good. And then he went over to that other table and he started pumping up the smoker's lungs, which was brown and spotted. And it was like, wasn't getting no air. I said, man, you got me. I said, I ain't never smoking. I said, my lungs is not about to look like that, because that look like death to me. So it's just like I say, like, I look at it more so, and I joke and laugh about it, man, because it's funny to me. Just because it's the way how I be thinking, like, I'm weird. But that's just how I look at it, man. That sin, all that stuff, that's between you and God. But I think the health facts are there to just show that, like, it's not necessarily, it's not good for you. And yeah, but I don't know. Like I said, I don't do it, and I don't judge nobody who do it. So, and because I don't do it, I won't speak on it like that. I just live by example. The one I was trying to tell you about your relationship with God, yeah, Taylor him. So it's good you respond to that. Views, know your focus, yeah. Say Cal. What's your zodiac? Lockstar, if you still on there. I'm a Sagittarius. L is back in the crib. Water break. Got you, L. But shit, this is okay. Cool. All right, catch him back up. Exactly. Boom. All right, cool. I'm catching back up with y'all. All right. Don't allow the enemy to get you off course. Yeah, that's right, Nate. Who's that? No, that's Nat Gen 70. I don't know your name, but I'm just calling you by your name. So Nat Gen said, so don't allow the enemy to get you off course. Yep, that's right. So I feel Trey, my little bro. You got to keep him covered, especially from some of these women. Thank you, Nita. She said, where I'm from. I'm from St. Augustine, Florida. Hometown. Born and raised. I'll find them. Yeah, that was about it. Tomorrow. Yeah, I know it. My girl, Molly. All right, do you think social media is an essential thing to have? That's a great question, El. I think in this day and time, I definitely think that social media is an essential thing to have just because of like the use for it. You know what I mean? Like as far as with marketing things and with the news and the information that we get through social media, I definitely think that it's very essential to have. But I think that it's also important to establish or understand and know in the ways of how you use your social media, right? Do you just use your social media to stay connected to what's going on in the world, right? Or are you using your social media as a business platform, as a business thing, right, for your business or whatever, right? Like what is your intent for social media? And then what are you following? What are you allowing to come across your feed? Now, there are some things that's going to come across your feed without your, control, but like who do you follow? What do you follow? What do you allow to be on your, you follow page, whatever, right? So you basically build the content that you want to see on your social media. So I think it's important for you to kind of understand like what's your intent with your social media and what are you allowing to come across your social media? What are you following? What are you liking the most? What are your habits on your social media and what are you using it for, right? Because it's a good tool. It keeps us connected with family that's far away, right? A quick instant message, whether it's through a text or whether it's through an Instagram DM, right? Or like I know me and my friends who we live far away. One lives back home in Florida. One lives in Texas, right? We have a group chat on Snapchat. We have a group chat on Instagram. And we have a group chat message on Twitter. We have a group chat on every single one of the platforms where we share videos, funny videos, serious videos, right? We share videos to each other and we laugh about them and we talk about them, and it's a way of keeping us connected, right? So I think social media is very important and essential in ways such as that. All right, let me see. I love everything you're saying. Thank you. Nice to meet you. God bless. Did he join? What are you? There we go, yo. Yo, back in the crib. Yo, how did your hair come out? Y'all know Yo got a lot of hair. Take her a long time to do it. But yeah, let me see. Let me let this chat load up. I know we got some more questions in there from Kansas. Okay, bet. Kansas in the house. Instagram or Facebook, I feel like it poisons our mindset. Yeah, and yeah, I agree with you on that too, El. Sometimes there is some things on there that there's some stuff that's pushed out on the social media that can kind of taint the mindset. But you're gonna find that everywhere. You're gonna find that everywhere. Whether you're watching TV, right? No matter what they showing on TV, like it's everywhere. It's hard to dodge. Like you would literally have to disconnect yourself from having internet and from watching TV to see that, because it's there. Every social media platform, every form of entertainment. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So currently just had a product in, letting it air dry, listening to you while I cook. There we go. That's a whole vibe. Yo, chilling, y'all. That's a whole vibe. For real. And so, let's see, so he's from Kansas. Facts. But yeah, we gotta be smart in how we use our social media, and to think about, what we're following. So, what you cooking? Yo, what you cooking? Let us know what you cooking. Shoot. It's really up to us. Yep, that's right, L. That's right, L. Somebody tell me what time it is. Boy, I ain't got my clock. What time is it? Eastern Standard Time. What time is it? Oh, because I think it's going to pause the live if I try to slide it down from the top. I think it's going to pause. Trying to see if somebody tell me what time. But check it. So look, now that I see that 11:15, oh, we good. Yeah. Perfect. Thank y'all. What day is your birthday, Trey? My birthday is 11. I was about to give you the number. My birthday is November 29th. November 29th is my birthday. It's my birthday. I'm Sagittarius, if that was your next question. But yeah, so big responsibilities. Probably don't want to admit it, yeah. But yeah, so what was I about? Y'all had me forget. So dang, I thought it was 30. No, not the 30. No, it's the 29th. It's the 29th. You was one day off. You good? That's close. So me too. That's why I'm asking. Oh, you thought November 2nd for me. Okay, November baby. That's what's up. That's what's up. Somewhere 20ish. Yeah, November 29th. November 29th is my birthday. And I'll be turning 26 this November. Crazy. 26 and my beard still don't connect right here. I don't know what happened, bro. It just don't, like, it's just bare. It just don't connect. Y'all see that? Man, look, bro. I don't know why I do that. But it's okay. I'm going to get me some beard oil one of these days. But we wearing masks, so I can't nobody see it anyway, so I ain't tripping. But yeah, so I'm trying to think. I was about to say something before I asked y'all what time it was. Hold on, Denise. Trying to tell me I ain't grown. Come on. Oh, what? She say it's because you still not grown. And nobody better not agree with Denise. We see it, Trey. It's okay. We still like it. Mark your calendar, 11/29/26. I'm grown, Denise. Y'all seen that little video that boy? I'm grown. I'm the daddy. I'm grown. Use social media, don't let it use you. Yes, I like that, yo. I like that. Use social media, don't let it use you. For real. Use social media, don't let it use you. For sure. But I think I was trying to go back to talk about like the people who be saying something. So it's crazy. So listen. So today at work in my department meeting, we had and I'm making chicken. It's really with plant-based. Hold on, boy, with plant-based chicken, sweet potatoes. Whoa. Yo, send me a plate, please. Big grown baby. Grown up, baby. All right, okay, I'll take that. I'll take it. But today in our department meeting, we discussed, and I think this is a really big topic, right? So we discussed, so it was presented by a black woman, but we basically discussed body politics, right, of the body, politics of the body, and how that has affected you socially, professionally. You're low-key a baby. I'm a bit older than you. No, you're not, yo. I'm a big dog. I'm grown. But in the presentation, we talked about body politics and how has it affected you socially, professionally, and I forget what the other word was. But we had so one of my coworkers who is very prideful in being a plus size woman. She created this bomb presentation today that was so like it was so deep. And she talked about how she, as a black woman, has experienced, has experienced threats and has experienced all kind of disrespect, right? From her body, right? Just because she's a plus size woman. And she gave us like some experiences that she showed us examples of experiences that she's had through dating apps, some experience that she's had on her job with people, touching her in disrespectful ways. You know what I'm saying? And then she kind of talked about how because where we work at, right, is a predominantly white institution. And there's not many people of color here, right? And so she kind of discussed and talked about how she has experienced people being disrespectful to her in a position of a job, right, of her working, and how she has had to deal with those situations. And when I tell you this presentation was so eye-opening and it was so deep and it was so good. She was like, it was really interactive and she asked us a lot of questions and got us to kind of reflect on how we have been, judged based on our bodies, or how body politics has affected us, right, as we move. And I think it was powerful because she showed a lot of vulnerability in talking about how her experience has shaped her and how she has adapted over time. But then there was a question of reflection that she was like, hey, like I want, and anyone can answer. She says, how has body politics affected you, professionally or socially? And I began to kind of think, and I felt like me as a person, who is deemed fit by society or deemed to be in shape by society, I felt like that I had nothing to share, right? I felt that I had nothing to share because I'm in this fit position. But then I began to think of like, like this body politics stuff, it like whether you're fit or not, right? Whether you're fit or not, somebody is gonna still be upset with what you are, with where you're at in life. And this is why I think that we should never ever make decisions to please other people, because people will not be happy no matter what. So I began to reflect and I began to realize that when I was in high school and I was trying to get scholarships for college, right, I would literally have coaches tell me, you know what, like, yeah, you got the playing ability, you got the speed, you got the mindset, you got everything that we like for, as a player, but you're just not tall enough. You're not tall enough, right? And I got turned down by so many Division I colleges to play ball at just because I wasn't tall enough. But they said that I had every single thing else. It was like, you got the strength, you got the speed, you got every single thing else. But because you're not tall enough, we're not going to offer you a scholarship to come play with us, right? And so the way how that weighed on me, right, I figured, I was like, okay, well, dang, I can't grow any taller. God made me that way, right? Like, so I was like, you know what? I'm going to just get in the gym and I'm going to work out hard. And if I can't grow taller, I'm going to grow wider. Or I'm going to just get, I'm going to let my muscle make up for me not being tall enough to go play at these schools. So then I began to start, feeling a little self-conscious about myself, because I'm like, all right, I'm not tall enough, right? And then as I got older, right, and then, God obviously still blessed me with the opportunity to play at a Division I AA school, right? Somebody gave me an opportunity to play. And the reason why I've always had a chip on my shoulder was because I was always told that I was too short to even be able to compete in this game. So when I got the opportunity to compete in the game, I began to play with this chip on my shoulder to prove that I was worthy of being there. You know what I'm saying? And then what I realized was that the way how it affects me socially, because socially was one of the questions, the way how it affects me socially, how body politics affected me socially, right? Because again, like I said, I felt like I had no response to this. I felt like I had no response to the question because society deems me as being fit and in shape. But then I began to start thinking about the video that we just kind of talked about, the running video, how the guy tried to point out that because I was jogging with no shirt on, that I was a wolf in sheep's clothing because I was causing women to lust and to fall, right? It was that comment, and then the video that I made about overcoming the sensation of masturbation, right? And when I was in the middle of a workout and I was doing a pull up and I didn't have a shirt on, there was a guy who commented on that one and said, "Oh, you're sitting here praising yourself while also, sexually seducing women without a shirt on," like all this stuff, right? It was that video. And then I just began to think about like how even sometimes my friends, my boys will always be like, "Oh nah, like bro, like like I feel like I can't even wear a tank top because everybody like, oh bro, you just trying to show off, bro. Oh, Trey always got to have his shirt off. You know what I mean? Always got to like make jokes and make comments." And I never really realized how that affected me because it put me in a position to where I felt like I had to wear bigger clothes or I had to wear more clothes, like even if we was at the beach or something like that, right? I always felt like I needed to wear more clothes because I was more fit than everyone else. I didn't want to make anyone else feel uncomfortable or hear the jokes that people would make about me being fit and cut up, right? And some people would be like, oh, they would show respect and be like, all right, man, yeah, you work hard. But then you had those other people who would just make jokes about me being fit and always make me seem like I'm, trying to show off, when like that's not my intention at all. Like I'm just trying to be a human being. Like I'm just out here living, bro. Like dang, like I can't be fit, like. So I always felt like I had to have on more clothing than the people I was around so that I didn't stand out, right? And so I didn't realize how that affected me in my life because I just kind of brush it off, right? Like they say as men, like you're not supposed to have these type of feelings. You're not supposed to, feel some type of way. But shoot, I'm gonna be real with you. I'm a sensitive dude. Like I'm low key kind of sensitive. You know what I'm saying? Like I was raised by women and women alone. You see, so that's something that I've adopted. You know what I mean? Like I'm low key sensitive, bro. Like I ain't gonna need cap. Some stuff be getting to me, and other stuff don't. But so some of that stuff would really make me think. You know what I'm saying? And I had to get to a point in my life to where I became so comfortable and so confident, not cocky, but so comfortable and confident within myself that I began to start switching my perspective from not trying to live my life to make others feel comfortable in my presence because they're uncomfortable in my presence or, watching my videos, right? And I was just like, dang, bro, I never knew that really affected me that way. I never knew that I felt bad for being in shape or felt bad for having a love for fitness. You know what I'm saying? So then I was like, okay, if I'm a person who's fit or is into fitness, what about somebody who's not, society or socially deemed fit or not in shape, right? How do you think that person really felt, right? And by her being able to present that and give us like she gave us live real examples. Like she showed us screenshots of dating apps of things that men have said to her, like which was very disrespectful and very childish. Like she showed us all that stuff, and it was just like it just made me think, and I'm just like, dang, bro, like this body politics stuff is really crazy, and this is why, and I'm telling y'all this, right, and this is why you can never ever do anything to please anyone. You can never, ever do anything to please anyone. RJ says, do you live in Tennessee? No, I don't live in Tennessee. I'm from Florida, but I currently live up north in New Hampshire. But you can never, ever do anything in your life to please another person because there were never, there are going to be a lot of people who are still unsatisfied. So when you do things, when you make changes, or when you make the decision in your life to make a change about your body, make a change about your lifestyle, to make a change about something, right? It has to be because you're doing it for you, and you're doing it for, the glory of God, right? Obviously, always giving God the glory, but you're doing this for you and for the betterment of how you feel about what it is. You can't please everybody. Because if you do that, you're going to find yourself in a position of never, ever being happy. And I didn't realize, as a person who's really into fitness, that I wasn't happy. There was one point in my life where I wasn't happy, and I began to start feeling insecure about a body who is naturally seen by society as a body type that that person should automatically feel secure and feel secure and confident about. Like, it literally got to the point to where my fitness and me working hard in the gym or outside of the gym or whatever, it got to the point to where I started to get uncomfortable with myself. And it's not that I was like, oh, like, I wish I wasn't built anymore, I wish I didn't have muscles, but it was just like, I was like, you know what? I can't be myself. I'm not gonna take my shirt off. I'm not gonna, wear the leggings, the tight leggings today with the workout shorts today. Like, I'm gonna, keep the sweats on. I'm gonna keep the long sleeve on while I'm out here, because I want nobody to think that I'm trying to show off, or that I'm, what I mean? Like, that was my thought process. But then I had to realize, it's like, bro, like, when I go to the gym, I don't go to the gym to look good for y'all. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I do it because I care about my health, and I've always loved working out from when I was a little kid. Like, that's just what me and my older cousins did in the backyard. Like, before I became an athlete, I was working out. I was lifting weights. I was doing all that stuff that they told me was going to stunt my growth. I was doing that from when I was a little kid. Like, so I've never done it for the pleasing of other people. You know what I'm saying? And it's not, I'm not going to adjust my lifestyle or adjust the way that I carry myself when I train. Because when I train, I don't work out with a shirt. I'm from Florida. It's hot. When we work, we don't work out with shorts. When we football in Florida, we don't wear shirts under our pads. Like, we don't wear shirts under our pads. You know what I mean? It's straight shoulder pads with that strap. We don't wear shirts. It's hot. You know what I'm saying? We don't train with shirts on. So that's just how I am. I will, as long as I'm working out outside or working out by myself or whatever, I will always have my shirt off, unless it's winter and it's cold, or unless I'm training some kids or whatever, that's a mixture group of male and female, or unless I'm in some area where, I'm like, all right, let me be a little bit more respectful. There's parents, or there's other type of people, whatever. But if I'm in my own element, if I'm doing my own thing, you will never ever catch me working out with a shirt on. That's just not how I grind. I grind without, like, that's just how I work out. And I was like, I'm not going to change that to make somebody else feel comfortable in my space. Either you rise to it. If you see it as a challenge, you rise to it and you get like me, so it becomes less of a worry for you, or you just deal with it. Because if I sit here and try to change myself, change myself to make you feel comfortable, I'm going to put myself at a low vibration. And that's what I was doing. I was putting myself at a low vibration, right? And so it's crazy. And so then I just started thinking about, her who did the presentation. Someone who is very pride, she takes a lot of pride, and she loves her identity as a plus size woman, right? Who's confident within her plus size, right? I take her experiences and I'm just like, yo, I put that on top of my experiences of thinking of, like, how her experience made me think and reflect about how I felt. Right. And it made me come to the conclusion, because, again, like I said, I thought that I had no feelings, because I was like, there's no way I can speak to this because I'm considered fit. Right. So then it helped me open up my mind to see that, nah, bro, you affected by this too. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm like, well, shoot, especially after the comment what the buddies say after me running, you know what I mean? Like, calling me a sheep in wolves or wolf in sheep's clothing, because I'm jogging with my shirt off. I'm like, bro, you literally see my collarbone and sweat on my neck. What about that triggers you? Like, what's good, bro? You know what I'm saying? And so I'm like, well, dang, it's like, I'm damned if I do, damned if I don't. Like, if I was fit, like, you're doomed. If you ain't fit, you're doomed. So it's just like, you can't do stuff for other people. You can't do stuff for other people You got to do it for yourself. So whatever your goals are, whatever it is that you want for yourself, right? It's not that you need to make a change to anything, because you are already what it is that you want to be. You are that. You just need to start transitioning over into it, right? Because and then there's another question that she asked us in the PowerPoint. She was like, when somebody asks you, what's something you want to change about yourself, right? It kind of gives off this automatic assumption that there is something wrong with you, or that there is something negative about you that you need to change in order to make yourself like yourself more, right? So she asked us that question, like, what do you think about, how does that make you feel when somebody asks you, what do you want to change about yourself? And I think that word change gives that kind of, that connotation of like, there's something wrong with me that I need to change. Because there's a lot of times where like people ask me that question, and it's like, bro, there's nothing that I want to change about myself, right? There's nothing that I want to change about myself. There's a lot that I want to develop about myself, but there's nothing that I want to change, right? And so when somebody asks you that question, and if you don't want to change something, it makes you search and find something that like, oh, well, dang, like, is there something that I need to change? Like, what could I change? You know what I mean? And there's nothing that you need to change. I think that we need to switch it from thinking of, oh, what do I need to change about myself, and understanding that you are already what it is that you want to become. You just need to start transitioning into the development process of becoming what it is that you want to become, or that you say that you're working towards, right? Because again, that I think that question, or that saying of what is it that you want to change about yourself, I think that gives a negative connotation already of that there's something wrong with you, when there's nothing wrong with you, right? There's just something that you want to see develop in your life. There's a transition that you're ready to make, right? And so that was a powerful PowerPoint today. That was a powerful conversation that we had earlier today, just talking about that body positivity and the body politics, and how it plays and how it affects people in their lives, whether you're fit or not fit. You know what I'm saying? Like it definitely plays a huge role, and it affects all of us. So again, I say all of that just to say, when you make a decision to do something, make sure you do it for yourself and for what you love, right? Not for other people, and not for the support of, or not for the fact or the idea of making other people feel comfortable being around you. Like, nah, that's not what we're doing it for. And so let me look through these comments now. A great topic. Important, we are here on earth to please people. See, if I ever get a six-pack, it's over. That's why God didn't give it to me. I hear you, Nita. And now, like today, I feel like I try to overdress. Yep, I hear you, yo. For real. So glad you overcame that, Trey. Thank you, Nita. Literally speaking to me. Yes, that's so true. No, you shouldn't feel bad every day. Well, be pleased. I like it, but it's about you. Yep. Can't please everyone. All right, bet. Great topic. There is no between. People will not stop judging. Yup. Trey, you didn't even have a shirt on, so how are you a wolf in sheep? Wait, no shirt. I hear you, Shar. I don't know, man. Buddy was tripping. But they jumped on his head for me, though, so I ain't even worried about him. God looking at it. Yeah, y'all tripping. Nita talking about God looking at us right now, shaking his head. Y'all funny. Y'all funny, man. Y'all funny. I swear. Y'all are super funny. But nah, for real, man. For real. So again, and that's just some upliftment for y'all. That's just some upliftment for y'all. Just something to think about. Typos, Queen Sheets clothing. I didn't say anything in the wrong context. 25-8. Nah, for real. So, that's just, I wanted to bring that topic up. Just, to put that nugget in your head of, when you make that decision to do something, man, don't do it for other people. Don't do it because you want to do it, and understand that you are already what it is that you want to become or what you want to see. You just have to make sure that you are doing it for you and you understand what you're chasing. You know what I mean? You know what you're going after. And it's because you want to do it. And it's for yourself, not for other people, because ain't nobody going, people not going to be happy. There's going to be a lot of people that'll be happy, and there'll be a lot of people that's going to try to find the badness within it. You know what I'm saying? So, and don't be so quick to be so, apologetic for the work that you put in, right? Don't be so quick to be apologetic for the work that you put in for whatever it is. And this is, this doesn't have to be fitness. Whatever it is in your life that you've been putting work in on and that you've been transitioning into the thing that you want to see develop within your life. Don't be so apologetic for the work that you put in, because people are going to make you feel bad because they don't have what it is that you have, or they're not in the position that you want to be in. So don't be so apologetic because you put that work in. And then on the other end of it, make sure that if there is somebody else, right, if you're the person that's doing the judgment or doing the judging of other people, right, because they either have what you want or they don't have what you want or what you have, right, don't judge people or make them feel uncomfortable because they don't have what you got or because they have what you want, right? Make sure that. So did you see that Holy Spirit question, Trey? What Holy Spirit question? No, I ain't see that. They have to bring that back up. I missed that. But make sure that you are true and honest with yourself. You know what I'm saying? And don't try to make somebody else feel bad because of you not having it and you reflecting your negative thoughts of yourself onto another person, right? So we got to be true and honest with ourselves within our self-reflection. So that's that. And then I want to transition from that into another topic of, I remember in my undergrad, right? Come from a place of love. Yes. I remember in my undergrad, I was in the gym and I was doing the chest machine, right? I was doing the chest fly thing, and there was this dude, right? There was this dude that y'all tripping. There was this dude that was looking at me, right, the whole time. And I'm seeing him in the mirror. I'm like, man, what's this dude staring at me, right? And so I had went to another machine after I finished that. Went to another machine, working, and I still see him. He watching me, right? So I'm like, bro, why this dude looking at me? Like, what's good? So he came up to me, right? So I went and got on, I think I was doing a leg machine at the time. So I got on the leg machine and he came up to me and was like, hey man, he was like, bro, I've been watching you work out for a couple of minutes, right? And in my head, I'm like, yeah, you have. Like, bro, you have. And he was like, I've been watching you. I don't know, y'all some comedians. Y'all really some comedians. But he said, I've been watching you work out for a couple of minutes, right? And he was like, bro, he was like, your dedication, bro. He was like, in the way how you're getting into your lift, like, he was like, bro, I'm really, like, it really inspires me. And I was like, oh man, I appreciate that or whatever. He was like, yeah, man, like I'm trying to get like how you are. Like, I want to get a little bit more tone definition. He's like, man, like you. He was like, you're like, he was hyping me up, right? And it was crazy because that day that I was in the gym, I was like, it was a bad day. Like I felt weak. I felt like I wasn't working hard enough. Like it was just one of those like days in the gym where you just feel like you're not getting no work in. Like you feel like you're just doing movements and like, you know what I mean? Like I felt terrible in the gym that day. Like I felt exhausted. Like it was just a bad day. Like I didn't even feel like I got a good lift. But he came up to me telling me that what I was doing was inspiring to him, right? That he was trying to get to a position. He wanted to look like me, right? He was like, I want my body to look like yours. Like I'm trying to get to that, man. Then he pulled out his phone and he showed me some pictures of him like in the past. And he used to be, you know, like muscular, used to be kind of fit and stuff. But he ended up, you know, getting into some things where, you know, he stopped working out and he lost all of that, right? So I was like, oh man. And so we ended up talking, man, and we ended up exchanging contact and we became friends. And there was a couple of days that we started to work out together, right? But when I got back to my car, I began to start thinking, and like God was telling me, he was like, yo, this is why you have to be present in the moment. You have to be present with where you are in life, and you have to be thankful with where you are in life, because there's always somebody who wants to be in your position. There's always somebody who wants to be where you're at. So even when you're in a position in life where you're feeling down, where you're feeling like nothing's happening for you, or when you feel like you're not making any progress, right? And you want to give up, and you want to talk down on yourself, or you want to, just say all this crazy stuff. Understand that there's somebody in life who's looking at you where you're at right now, and they are admiring the position that you are in life, and you have to be thankful with where you're at, because while you are chasing somebody else's life or chasing to be in a higher position that you see somebody else having, there's somebody chasing that position that you currently have right now. So that's why you have to be present in the moment, present in where you're at in your life right now, and make sure that you're extracting as much knowledge and that you're working as hard as you can in that position, because there's somebody who's striving to be where you are right now, just like you're striving to be where somebody else is right now. Right? There's this ladder, there's this chain. So even when you're looking at this playing field, you look, man, these people got way more than me, bro. They got this, they got that, they living over there, they got all this and that. There's somebody that's looking at you the same way. Somebody looking at you the same way. And it was crazy because, like I said, I was sitting on that machine and I had a bad day in the gym. I felt weak. I felt like I was just in there doing the motions. Like I didn't feel anything. Like it was a horrible day. I was exhausted. I was tired. I was like, why am I even here? I'm just wasting time, right? But I was still getting my workout in. I just didn't feel as motivated and as driven as I usually did on other days, right? It was just a bad day in the gym for me. But there was somebody watching me and admiring the position that I was in, and told me how bad he wanted to be where I was at. You know what I'm saying? And so that right there, when God spoke to me on that as I was walking back to the parking lot, I was just like, dang, you know what? I'm thankful I'm thankful where I was at that day. I'm thankful for not being able to have that bad day in the gym, right? I'm thankful to be, to look the way that I look, or to not, right? Because at that time I had a goal to be, at a certain weight. I wasn't at that weight yet, right? I didn't have the certain, quad size that I wanted, but there was somebody else who just literally praised and applauded me and asked for some tips on how can he get to where I'm at. And I'm sitting here trying to get to another position or get to a higher spot, right? So we have to be thankful with where we are and understand that there are people trying to climb and get to where you're at right now. So if you're in a position, don't complain about where you're at right now. Just continue to keep working. Continue to keep working. And continue to keep moving up the ladder, and just know that there are people coming behind you who wants to be on the step of the ladder where you're at. And if you continue to complain and continue to just, dwell within the position that you are in life, instead of staying focused and accepting the bad days, accepting the setbacks, right? Because it's all a part of the learning process, right? If you continue to stay in that position and just weep and cry and complain, you're going to be taking up space. You're taking up space in an area in which you don't necessarily belong anymore. You should be way further ahead, where God intended you to be. But because you spend so much time, right, complaining and crying and woe is me and oh my God, why this is so hard, right? People are going to start climbing over the top of your head because you're taking up space on the ladder where people are trying to get to, right? People want your position in life. And when they reach your position, they're going to succeed. They're going to surpass you. You know what I mean? And there's no race, but you have to make sure that you are staying present in your situation and that you accept the setbacks, that you accept the good and the bad days, and continue to keep moving forward. For real, because there's always somebody who wants to be in a position where you are. So no matter how bad it gets, no matter how tough it gets, no matter how rough it gets, somebody is looking to be where you're at right now. Even when you're not paying attention, because they might not say it to you. Yep. So letting whatever you want. Hold on, let me catch up. So did you go through any type of depression through transitioning into a man of God? I wouldn't say that I went through any type of like depression or anything when transitioning to a man. Because I was born and raised in the church. So like, I always had that connection. But I did experience some depression and stuff through my transition of the healing process of when I had my knee injury. But as far as transitioning into being like I was born and raised in the church, so like that was something that was just always there, that I grew up into and just had always stayed within it. So never really experienced any depression or anything in my transition of becoming a servant leader of God within God's army. You know what I'm saying? I always say this, Trey. Yes, sir. Amen. The grass ain't green on the other side. The grass is greener where you water it. Yes, I like that, yo. When it comes to looking at who people are, yep. That's why you always have to stay in position even when you don't want to, yep. So don't mind me, y'all. I haven't taken a nap and I'm tripping when tired. How you get rid of back fat quick? Please don't say lifting. How you get rid of? You said how you get rid of back fat quick. You get rid of that through diet. Literally everything around the waist, the stomach, all that stuff is literally dieting, right? Making sure you're eating the right thing. And if you want to lose weight, obviously you have to eat less calories than what you normally eat daily. And if you want to gain weight, you got to eat more calories than what you eat daily, right? It's just, it's just that simple. It's working out more and working out more consistently and making sure that you're eating a cleaner diet, right? Making sure that you're lowering your sodium amount, your sugar amount, right? All that stuff that is not good for our bodies, right? Making sure that you're eating more fruits and vegetables, right? Drinking water, and that you're exercising regularly is going to reduce that fat or that back fat that you're looking to get rid of. So yes, it's mostly through diet. It's the same thing like with abs. Everybody has abs, right? You can do crunches all day, but you will never see your abs until you start to do more cardio and until you start to eat cleaner, right, and eat healthier. You'll never ever see your abs. You can build them up by doing all of those, crunches and all that stuff, right? You can build your muscles up within the abs, but it won't show until you lose that fat that's surrounding it. And the fat that's surrounding it, right, comes from what you eat and how you eat. How often do you eat, and do you work out enough? So let me see. Waiting for these comments to load up. But yeah, that was something that I had reflected on. I was just like, man, that's crazy. Like, he really uplifted me that day, and he didn't even know it, because I was having such a bad day. And he come to me telling me he wanted to be where I was at, and I was sitting on the bench complaining, feeling like I was worthless, like I wasn't doing nothing that day. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta embrace it. Get Trey. What she say? Get Trey's pregnancy meal plan. Hey, look, I'm telling you, you don't want my pregnancy meal. My meal plan gonna put weight on you. Based on your body type helps also. Yep, that's right, Taylor. Yo, what's your question? Why you think it's too personal? What does it have to do with? How can I stop procrastinating and be more disciplined? So you said, so how can you stop procrastinating and be more disciplined? How serious are you about what it is that you're doing, right? So here's the thing. And I heard my man Gary Vee say this, and he made it clean, clear, simple. a lot of people, when it comes to motivation and when it comes to discipline, right? Discipline, you got to find a routine. You got to find a set routine that you do every single day, right? Until you create those habits of doing it, right? Like I say, like I put my alarm clock on for 5:30 a.m. I've heard that alarm clock go off at 5:30 a.m. so many times for so long till it gets to the point to now my body is conditioned to automatically wake up at 5:30 without the alarm. So when I wake up and I look at my phone, it's going to be 5:21, 5:28, 5:32, 5. It's going to be around that area that my body's going to automatically wake up because I've conditioned it. I've created a habit, right, for it to wake up at that time. So when it comes to procrastinating, when it comes to being more disciplined, when it comes to motivation, you need to make sure that you are doing what you love doing. You are doing what you like doing. When you are doing what you love doing, what you love to do and what you like to do, there's no need for motivation. You know what I mean? It's going to be easier for you to do it. It's going to be easier for you not to procrastinate because you enjoy doing it. You know what I mean? So it's like, for me, I look at right. So for my job, when I have to create all these documents and all that stuff, I'm going to procrastinate on it a little bit, right? And not be as disciplined on creating or finishing a certain part of the work a day because I don't like doing it. You know what I mean? But when somebody says, hey, Trey, we want you to come speak at our school, right? And we want you to kind of incorporate this message that we've been talking to our kids about into your speech. I will literally stay up until 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning creating a PowerPoint and not feel tired about it, not feel, like, oh, and procrastinate on it. Like, I will literally do that every single day because I'm doing what I love. Like, I'm getting opportunity. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I've developed some type of want to want to do it. And so there's no such thing as procrastinating. There's no such thing that I don't need motivation because I'm doing what I like to do and what makes me happy. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to become more disciplined, right, you need to first design yourself a set schedule, not a set schedule, but design yourself a routine, right? Design yourself a routine that you do daily and start practicing on doing that routine daily. And then with the procrastination part, right, you need to practice on doing the things that make you happy first. Right? Because I think once you develop that habit of doing the things that make you happy, where there's no procrastination, where you're going to do it regardless because you love doing it and you'll do it all day, you'll develop and take that habit over into whatever else that it is that you have to do. Right? It's that mindset of like, all right, I got to get this job done. Like, let me spend some time and working on it. Right? And then I also think that when you create that set routine, that daily routine, that routine is going to come with time limits for whatever it is that you're doing, right? So from this time to this time, I'm doing this, and then boom, I got to move over to the next thing. But I'm getting these things done. So I think when you're developing that discipline, you're going to develop that ability to be able to break through your procrastination in whatever it is that you're doing. Because I'm pretty sure if you start doing what it is that makes you happy, you're going to incorporate that into your routine, which is helping you become more disciplined in what it is that you're doing, right? And being more structured with your time. Sebastian says, thank you, man. Welcome. So, but this just saved my relapse. What up, Ruby? Hold on, I'm coming, yo. I'm coming. Someone asked a question. I don't know if it's too personal. Facts. How can I stop procrastination? Thank you. Guys, I didn't say this, but I'm not a Christian. Just think I should say. Thank you, Denise, for sharing that. Thank you. You ain't got to be Christian. All you got to be is human, and we love you the way that you are. Love you the way. I'm trying to come up with a song, y'all. I ain't no artist. What I was just trying to say was, I don't care what you is. As long as you breathe air like me and you a human too, dog, cat, whatever. I love all y'all. Hey man, I saw this vid of you congratulating yourself and was really inspiring. Thanks, Sebastian. I appreciate you, dog. Yeah, that I feel what you're saying. You said it could take you back to your relapse, man. Yup. It's all about the having the ability to stay in control mentally. You know what I mean? And then Ruby says, "Hi, what's up?" And then that's a good one, yo, for real. So y'all, let me see. So from your video of not feeding into the temptations, are you practicing celibacy / waiting for marriage? Great question, yo yo. So me waiting for yo yo question. Okay, let me say, hold on. I'm gonna just ask you. Don't answer is too personal. I'm gonna answer the question. Hold on, let me read through. So hey man, I think my question just got deleted. I don't know. Yeah, this chat be tripping sometimes. Amazing God is good. I'm proud. Boom, boom. All right, let me mention this one. So Yo-Yo say, hold on. Yes, I believe God, of course. Just haven't given my life to him yet. Yep, take your time, Denise. Can you get some advice on not falling into the same path you were? Okay, so Sebastian and Yo-Yo, I'm about to answer y'all questions like kinda at the same time, back to back. So Sebastian asking, can you give some advice on not falling into the same path you were in, right? So I guess it'll kind of answer both of y'all questions, but Sebastian, I may have to go another way to answer your question. But to answer Yo-Yo's question about hold on, let me get to it. So from your vid of feeding into temptation, right? Are you practicing celibacy, waiting for marriage? All right, so here we go. So no, I'm not practicing that specifically and not waiting for marriage. I don't know, have y'all ever, I'm pretty sure y'all have heard of semen retention, right? And it's just basically like the whole idea, the point of that, you know, your semen, your seed is basically like that's your energy. You know what I mean? Like that's your energy. That's where you become more powerful. You become more active. You become more motivated, right? That's where your thoughts, your juices, everything is flowing. When you contain that energy inside of you, right? You're able to transfer that sexual energy that you get into other things, right? And when you transfer that energy, because it's one of the most powerful energies that you have is that sexual energy, that seed, your semen, right? That stuff is, you know, as a man, that's your most powerful thing, right? And a lot of dudes, and you can ask any dude, right? Like in that video that you're referencing, yo, so in that video, what was happening was I was in a position in my life where I had begun to start falling to masturbation repeatedly, like over and over, like to the point to where it was like it was so routine to when I laid down, right? When I laid down, it was just like without even thinking. You know what I mean? Like boom, went right into it. And it got to the point to where I had started doing it so much every single night to the point to where like I started, because like I said, I get up at 5:30 in the morning. I get up at 5:30 and I pray and I'm doing my workout by like 6:30, right? I'm doing my workout in the morning and I'm getting after it. I'm sweating. You know what I mean? I'm in there. Yeah, I'm grinding. It got to the point to where I couldn't even wake up for my workouts because I was so like I was so unmotivated because I had fell into the masturbation so many times, right? Doing it multiple times that I'm at the point to where shoot, I'm about to be shooting blinks. You know what I mean? Because I've used it so many times, right? I'm doing it more. I'm doing it faster than what my body can reproduce, right? And so now I'm losing energy, like I'm losing actual natural strength because I am exerting more than what my body can actually produce or give me at the time, right? So I fell into this position of masturbation, right? And so I began to start praying to God. I'm like, look, God, like, I've been, forgive me for this. You know what I mean? Like the feeling has come over me, right? I haven't been with nobody for a little minute. Like I've been, into this job, like really working, grinding. And, I had to take care of myself, right? But I went too far. And so this is where I went into the semen retention, where I was like, you know what, I need to build my energy back up. I need to start focusing myself and start transferring, because look, listen, energy cannot be created nor destroyed, right? So I believe that when we get that sexual energy, right, if you transfer that energy into what it is that, or into your craft or what it is that you're trying to do in life, right, you can produce so much more within that area than you can when you're just exerting that energy out, right, over and over and over. in that way of you basically groping or basically having sex with your hand, right? So I told God, I was like, God, I want you to help me with this, right? Help me with this semen retention that I'm about to go on. And, because I want to get back closer to you, and I want to start getting back, feeling healthy and feeling like energized. So I had went 3 weeks. I was like at that, when I shot that video, I was at like 3 weeks. I went 3 weeks without masturbation, without nothing. I'm talking about holding it in. I'm talking about there was some time, and like I said, I'm always be transparent and be real with y'all. There were some times where your boy was sitting there. I'm talking about rock. You know what I mean? I'm talking about hard, because that I held so much tension that it was just like it needed to go somewhere. It needed to go somewhere. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, and in my head, I'm like, no, I'm going to control this energy, right? When I feel this sensation coming on, all right, bet. You know what? It's time for me to start writing a speech. It's time for me to start coming up with the next Talking with Trey video, right? It's time for me to start coming up with this, right? I'm going to start transferring that energy into my craft. Right. And when I begin to start focusing on my craft, all of that energy that I got balled up is now going to my thought process. Right now, going through my thought process, and now, boom, I'm coming up with different videos. I'm coming up with different topics to talk about. I'm coming up, you know what I mean? It's flowing, and I'm feeling good. And I'm like, yeah, like, all right, like thoughts are coming to me easy now. You know what I'm saying? And I began to start spending my time praying to God more, whatever. So when I shot that video, what a lot of people didn't understand was, right, a lot of people talked about, that's like self-motivation. Like, I like you talking about the self-motivation. And, and then some other people were saying, like, this was something that I also struggle with. People in the comments saying, oh, I struggle with masturbation or whatever. Like, this motivated me to do better within it, right? So, but then you had some people who saw the negative side of it. The people who was like, oh my God, this video is cringy. I can't believe that, you're talking to yourself. And then some people was like, I can't believe, and then they always try to bring religion into it. I can't believe that Christians always try to say that it's bad to masturbate and you shun down your sexual desires and all this and that, right? They would start saying all this crazy stuff, right? And what was happening in the video was, what I was saying in the video was literally what I was hearing God say to me as I was working out, right? And so when I was doing the pull-ups, I began to hear God tell me, you know what, Trey, I'm proud of you. Good job. You put me first. You prayed when that sexual desire came over you. Because literally, like that night, I was in the bed, right? I woke up in the middle of the night. I woke up in the middle of the night ready to go. If I had a girlfriend, it'd have been over with. No sleep. Listen, I woke up in the middle of the night ready to go, right? But I was still asleep. But I woke up and I'm like, I feel this desire, and literally my body, I don't know what it was. Something was telling me to literally just roll over and get into it. But I said no. I literally took my hands, right? So I'm laying on my stomach. I was laying on my stomach and I put my hands under my pillow like this. And I just locked my hands like this. And I told God, I said, and I started praying to God. I said, God, help me. Lord God, cover me. Lord God, help me go back to sleep most of all, bro. I'm sleepy. Like, I ain't got time for this, bro. Like, I got to be up in 2 hours to get this workout in. Like, literally, that's what I did. And that desire went away and I fell asleep. And when I woke up that morning, right, I got into my workout. And as I was doing those pull-ups, I began to hear God say, look, Trey, I'm proud of you. You put me first. You prayed when it came over you. You allowed me to work within you, right? And that's what I was saying out loud in the video. But a lot of people took that as me giving myself self-praise. And some guys was like, oh, bro, you need to give God the glory. Stop giving yourself the glory. But they didn't understand what was happening. That wasn't me actually praising myself. That was me speaking what I heard God say to me, right? But it was coming through my voice, so it looked a little bit different. But a lot of people didn't receive that message that way. They didn't know what was actually really going on. And so what I had to explain to some of the people was that masturbation itself isn't bad, right? It's a natural process, right? It's a natural thing of the body. But what is bad about it, what I think is bad about it, is that, yes, it's when you think about the idea of you basically having sex with your hand, right? Having sex with yourself, like, yes, that's sick. But what I think about more so of being the problem is the inability to control it, the inability to be able to control the desire of having to let that seed go. And that was what I was challenging myself with. So I didn't have the thought process of celibacy or waiting to marriage. Like, no, that wasn't it at all. It was for me to conquer the feeling and to be able to regain control over that desire so that I can transfer that energy or that big desire to get into masturbation into my craft or into what it was that I was doing in life, right? That was what I was really trying to speak to people about is not, there's nothing wrong with doing it so much. It's the inability to be able to control it, because believe it or not, there are so many men, there are so many women in life that have this problem to where they cannot control it. Like literally they can be at work, they can be in public settings, they can be at a family reunion, and this feeling will come over them out of nowhere, and they will literally have to stop doing what they're doing to get up to go and fulfill this feeling, to go and fulfill that need. And it takes a lot of time from people. There are, if y'all go back and look at that video and go and look into the comments there are so many guys, there are so many people who confess to having that problem to where they don't want, they do it so much and it's so repetitive that they have no control over it. They do it so much that they don't want to do it. They basically do it and look at themselves, right? And they're like, I'm tired of doing this. Why am I doing this? Right? Because they can't control it. And I think that if we could control our sexual desires, if we could take control of that, we could control and conquer anything else in life. We can literally control and conquer every single thing else in life if you could control that sexual desire, right? And like I say, there's nothing wrong with releasing it, right? But I think being able to control it and know how to release energy, right, over a even playing field, I think that is what, I think like being able to do that is a little bit better than, you just masturbating over and over and over and over and over, right? Because it does get sick. It does put you in a position to where it puts you in a position to where, you are now losing sensation when it comes to actually doing the real thing. You know what I mean? And it's weird. And so then now to go into my man Sebastian's question, right, where he says, how do you fall? I think you said something about, how do you get yourself out of doing the same things? And so that's how you have to literally state what your goal is, right? What is your purpose? What are you trying to do in life? And what are you doing in your life right now that is not allowing you to get to that place that you want to do, right? You find yourself doing something over and over or returning back to the same place that you've been trying to disconnect from. So now we need to identify, where is it? What's your goal? What's the location that you're trying to reach? Right. And once you identify where you're trying to go, now you need to start to establish a strict routine or a strict something that's going to hold yourself accountable, right, to get to that destination. Now, for me, it was putting my trust into God, but it was me putting other tasks in front of me when I got that feeling. When that feeling came, when I'm laying, nope, nah, I'm about to get up. Let me go in the kitchen. I'm about to go in the kitchen and let me grab a grape or go get some of them jelly beans inside there. Let me get up and go, boom. Because it literally takes those 3 seconds for your brain to switch over to doing something else for that desire to go away, right? And so what I had to start doing was my whole idea was that, you know what? I think that me falling into this ongoing motion of masturbating every single day and losing this energy and wasting time doing it multiple times in one setting, right? Wasting time. I am not getting to where God needs me to be in life. So what I need to do is I need to start putting productive tasks or small tasks or busy work tasks, right? You know how in school where your teacher give you homework and it's just a bunch of busy work just to keep y'all busy to make it feel like she teaching y'all something. It's just like that, right? It's just like putting little small tasks in front of me just to get my mind off of it, to be able to control it, to say, boom, you know what? I got up. Instead of making the decision to lay down and do it, I made the decision to get up and go do something else, right? That would be a little bit more beneficial to my life than laying down in my bed and masturbating for freaking hours, right? Losing that good energy, losing the power that God has given me in order to really really to take off into my speaking, right? Like I told y'all, when I got to a point, when I got to that second week, and when that desire came, right? That desire came for me to start masturbating. I literally started picking up pen and paper, or literally I went into my phone and I started listening to some of my old videos, or I started thinking about, what can I post, right? And those thoughts and those ideas were flowing because I began to start transferring that energy. And so, again, Sebastian, like, to answer your question, homie, like, you have to really define where it is you're trying to go. And then once you define where you're trying to go, you need to give it to God and let God know that, look, I need you to help me with this. And then you got to start putting tasks in front of you, right? When that desire comes, you need to start doing a different task. You need to start transferring, learning how to transfer your energy into what it is that you want to do in life to better yourself, right? And so I look at it as the same way, like with being angry, like people who have anger issues, right? Or they always find themselves so angry and they don't know what to do but just express their anger, right? And the same thing like with young men growing up, right? Who grow up without fathers, or grow up without parents teaching them how to process, right, and express their feelings. They express their anger in violence, right? Because they haven't been taught by their mother or father of how to express their anger, right? I think, like I said, energy cannot be created nor destroyed. So when we are angry, right, that's a bunch of energy built up in us, right? And so now it's, how do you transfer that energy into something that can be more productive than it resulting into you showing violence within your behavior? And I go back to the example that I always use of, someone who's a good writer, someone who likes to write stories, right? When you are angry, when you just got out of an argument, or when you feel like this anger start bursting to you, instead of getting into this argument with somebody, go pick up that pen and paper and start writing. Start writing a story through the anger, right? You know what I'm saying? Start writing a story through that anger that you're feeling, right? Let the anger talk. Let it go to the pen and paper. Transfer that energy into your skill, right? Somebody who's skillful in writing stories or loves to write, you know what I mean? Start transferring that into that. Somebody who's very skillful within fitness, right? Go to the gym and start working out. You know what I mean? You can transfer that energy into other things. And so, I hope that answered your question. And also, Sebastian, I hope that answered your question as well. But those were two great questions. But for real, like that video was literally me repeating what I was hearing God tell me for those 3 solid weeks that I went, that I fought, that I battled the overdriving sensation, right, to fall back into masturbating consistently. You know what I'm saying? And just losing all of that energy, just wasting my life away. You know what I'm saying? Like it's crazy, and it's real. And a lot of people, and I think that a lot of people in the comments didn't necessarily see the importance in it. And it wasn't because what I had to tell people was that, the people who saw it as like, oh, bro, like I'm still going to do mine, or like, you tripping, you taking this too serious. And like, I don't know why Christians always like just saying all this stuff. Right. And my point was, bro, it's deeper than what you're saying. There are people, I was like, if this don't apply to you, like if you don't have this problem, if you masturbate and you don't feel like you've lost energy, you don't feel any type of way about it, then this does not apply to you. This does not apply to you. I'm speaking to the people who literally struggle with this. Now, I wasn't in a position where I struggled with it. Now, I think I got to a point to where I was just doing it a little more than like what I intended on doing. So, but I wasn't in a position where I was like, oh, like I need to go masturbate. Like, nah, I wasn't like that. But there are people who are in that position to where they literally struggle and they cannot stop doing it. Like they just cannot stop doing it. You know what I'm saying? And they do it so much to the point to where being with another person doesn't even satisfy them. You know what I mean? So now they're trying to find something else that will satisfy them, but they can't because they've basically beat the sensation out of themselves because they do it so much. And so I was speaking to those people. I was trying to motivate those people, right? I was trying to motivate those people who literally have issues and problems with it where it affects their daily lives. That's the people who that message was intended to reach. So it was just a little bit deeper than what some people could actually understand. And like I say, like, you know, every video that I post, that I get some lashback. Right? I get some lashback, and it's good. I mean, it's cool, and it just goes to show that not everybody can see or understand what message you put out, but not every message that you put out is intended for every person. So you can't expect everybody to see or understand it. And that's why when people comment negative stuff on videos like that, all I respond is, hey, bro, just go look at the other 2,000 comments and just go and read the other 2,000 comments and look at the other men that said, hey, bro, thank you for this video because I struggle with this too. I was just about to do it, bro, but your video came up and it stopped me. Now I'm about to get up and go work out, or I'm about to get up and go do this or go do that. I'm about to get up and go, you know, study this and study that, right? Go just I tell them, just go look, go read go read at least 20 other comments. Go read at least 20 other comments in that video, and you come back and report to me and tell me if what you see you think is still crazy. Because there are people who are, after I just told you that, there are people who deal with this every single day and literally struggle with this. Go read 20 comments out of the other 3,000, 2,000 comments that's in here, and then come back and tell me if you still think I'm crazy. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, bro, it wasn't intended for you, bro. Like, it went over your head. It went over your head. Like, you missed it, bro. Like, it didn't hit home for you, and that's cool. But that don't mean that you need to come on here and say something negative when you see that there are actually people who struggle with this. You know what I mean? I'd rather you come on here, right? Even if you didn't agree with what I'm saying, I would rather you come on here and just say, look, I don't understand what's going on, but hey, for everybody who's saying that, you know, they're motivated and that, you know, they're proud that, you know, they can see this video and help them. Hey, more luck, more power to y'all. You know what I mean? And then keep it moving, bro. If it didn't hit you, if it didn't apply to you, all right. Like, there's nothing that you need to say within this group because it wasn't intended for you. And so that's something that I've been learning through paying attention to certain videos. When it's something very powerful as that, right? I understand that not everything was meant for everybody to understand or see. And so, for sure, I can tell you, speaking from your soul, exactly. I'm not responding because I have to make a run for my family. Be right back. Okay, sure. What up, Steve? Good to see you, Steve. What up, Trey? Sorry I'm late. Nah, I know you good, Tobias. You good, homie. What's good, homie? Creating healthy habits. Yo, that's right, Ruby. My bad, I'm sleepy. Need a sleepy. See, this is why I don't mind sewing into you. Yup, for real. The thoughts. Man, like testimony. Do you believe in soul ties? Yes, I do believe in soul ties. I definitely think when you lay with someone, it's definitely some type of thing that get attached to you, man. It definitely get attached to you. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I believe in it. I definitely believe in it. Cause those emotions and stuff, man, that stuff, it don't just go somewhere. Like, it definitely stay with you, and you got to pray for God to, you know, get it off. Cause like sometimes you be having emotions and feelings and stuff that you ain't never even really had before. You know what I mean? You don't know where it come from, and it come from that person that that you've been with, right? You take on a part of their stress and struggles. You know what I'm saying? But that's the thing that I think people don't realize is the amount of power and the amount of things that your seed has and that your body, your womb has. Like, it's more than just, you know what I mean? Like, it's literally more than just semen. It's more than just your womb. Like, literally, it's a portal to your body, right? Like, and that's why I say, if you can control that, like, you can literally control anything in life. And so that's my biggest thing, is just being able to control, having the ability to control and to do things, right, out of moderation, and to be able to control it to where it's healthy and it's not intoxicating. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Yeah, I'm still here, Kat. I love this topic. Can talk about it all day. Love you, brother. Love you too, fam. Love you too, for real. Man, I really appreciate your words. I can tell you speaking from the soul, for real. Yes, sir. But yeah, I'm about to get ready to wrap it up for y'all. What time is it? But yeah, I'm about to get ready to wrap it up for y'all. What time is it? For yeah, I'm gonna get ready to wrap it up for y'all. For real, for real. If y'all got any last comments or questions, please throw it in. But I'm gonna get ready to wrap it up in a little bit, cause your boy still gotta hop in the shower and take these work clothes off. It was my fault. I was running a little late today. But yeah, for real, like I like man that I'm glad you brought that video up. I'm glad you brought that question up. And same thing with Sebastian. Like I'm glad that you asked that question too. Because it just like that was something that was new for me, because that was nothing that I ever really like opened up about. But I felt confident enough to make the video about it because of what I had accomplished within those 3 weeks, and I knew that it was because of God. And then, it's so many comments, like it was so many controversial comments that I had got within that video that I can go on and talk about. But it's just like it just goes to show that people have different perspectives. People have different experiences with different things, and so it's just like being able to accept that there's just the people who are saying negative things they're just not going to get it. You know what I'm saying? They're just not going to get it. So Nita says, I appreciate your transparency, Trey. That was needed. I'm proud of you, man. Thank you so much, Nita. I really appreciate it. But I feel like I can be transparent with y'all. You know what I mean? Because y'all are non-judgmental, and and even if you are judgmental, you don't say it. But like I said, like I'm a student of life, and I'm not perfect. And I learn best from other people's experiences, and I learn from my own experiences. And so with having that perspective, with having that point of view, I believe that other people can also learn from my experiences. And so, I feel confident enough that if I'm going to accept this gift, accept this role of what God has given me to be a leader within the community and to be a speaker and to be, on a platform that, possibly in the future, a lot of people could end up, following or paying attention to, that there's going to be some parts of your life that you're going to have to expose in order to serve God's people, in order to do the job that God intended you to do. And so for me, that was a big step. That was a big jump, right? But it takes time to build confidence within myself to be able to talk about stuff like that and to post it, right? And for the video to go as viral as it did, like, especially with TikTok, like my boss, my supervisor could probably see that video one day. You know what I'm saying? If she's on TikTok, right? My boss can probably see that one day. You know what I mean? But I'm so confident and secure within that video, and I stand behind what's within that video, so it don't matter if my mama see it, and I don't care if my boss, my supervisor, or director of my department see it. I don't care if the president of the university see it, because the message that it's giving, right, is powerful, and it's bringing value to the community of people who struggle with that certain situation. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like, I'm okay with that video going viral, even though it was a touchy, private topic. You know what I mean? So it's just like, nobody perfect, dog. Like, nobody's perfect, and there's nobody better than the next person. And that's just how I look at it. Like, I don't care how good you got. I don't care how much money you make. I don't care. If you a human being, you got 2 feet, you breathe out the same type of nose that I breathe out of. Like, if you a human being on this earth just like me, and you walk this earth just like I walk, man, you not perfect. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you a celebrity. You not perfect, and you was never perfect. Right? There were some days where you were learning yourself too. So if you have space or room to judge me based off of what I posted with the intent of helping a community or helping people who deal with that, then that just goes to show, your immaturity and your denial of being a person who is in a position where they weren't perfect and knowing that they weren't perfect, right? I think being able to own up to our mistakes and own up to our lifestyles, like I think that is what allows you to be received better through people, because you understand and know that, yeah, there was a point in my life where like I was the worst human being.